Coffee on Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right in front of Walmart. Open 5:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. 7 days a week.
If you're concerned about personal contact, you can always use the convenient drive-through window at Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville. They'll take care of your prescription while you wait in the comfort of your car. Or come on in, pick up your health products, and order breakfast or lunch from the grill with some of the best sandwiches in town. The grill is open from 8 a.m. until 2:30, Monday through Friday. Medical Center Pharmacy, 607 East Academy Street in Cherryville. Celebrating lives and healing grieving hearts. That's the theme of the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Falston and the Stamey Cherryville Funeral Home on Dixie Street in Cherryville. Their staff is committed to providing your family with the highest quality care and service in your time of need. For more information, visit the websites at StameyTysingerFuneralHome.com and StameyCherryvilleFuneralHome.com, both giving you the gift of comfort for you and your family. There's no use to be cold this coming winter. Head on into Today's Pro in Shelby for warmth and comfort, from gas logs to fireplaces to inserts and more, with name brands like Empire, Monessen, and Buckstone. Be ready for old man winter today with a stop at Today's Pro in Shelby. And they also do service calls. And don't forget, they fill those propane cylinders. Just call 704-600-8393, 704-600-8393. Today's Pro, 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, online at thetodayspro.com. It's what everyone's been waiting on. The new DeWalt battery power tools are now in at Hojo Power Sports and Equipment in Shelby. Come check them out. DeWalt battery powered chainsaws, trimmers, blowers, hedgers, pole saws, even pruners, and battery backpack sprayers. And now's the time to bring that more in for service, so it'll be ready to cut when you are. Plus, ask about the new liquid tube tire sealant. You'll never have to worry about a flat. At Hojo Power Sports and Equipment, 110 Grigg Street, off South Lafayette Street in Shelby. Online at hojopower.net. Like them on Facebook, too.
Morning Sports Talk with Kevin, Zach, Tom, and Terry. Here we are on this lovely, cold Saturday morning.
Oh, it's not too bad out there.
No.
You know, the storm came through last night to come through Lincoln County. Maybe didn't knock out too many things, didn't knock out the power too much, but had lost power on my street for a little bit, but they got it back on. Just want to remind our listeners that Saturday Morning Sports Talk is brought to you by Bill Schubert, Heating and Air. Give him a call, 704-487-7877. Check him out online, shelbyheating.com. What?
You messed up. But anyway, Shelby Heating and Air, 704-487-78.
What I messed up?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Oh, my fault. Shelby, yeah.
You've been doing too many basketball
games. Yeah, I've been doing too many. Shelby Heating and Air. My fault. Sorry, yeah, Shelby Heating and Air. 704-487-7877. Both our sponsors. Sorry about that. Yeah, so
he takes a week off, Terry.
Yep.
Comes back.
That was
rusty.
2 weeks ago. Shelby Heating and Air,
His mine
704-487.
hadn't got back to
Right,
us
it's
yet.
still in California. What kind of
7877.
mushrooms on them pizza you're
At
eating?
least it
Tom?
didn't say 704-487-90210.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. So my apologies, ShelbyHeatingandAir.com. Kevin's got the hat on today for Shelby Heating and Air.
Yep. If I don't know if my camera lighting is awful, so I don't know if you can
It always
read the
is.
whole thing other than just
It is.
Shelby.
It's just
That's all you can see. On
his
it.
cameras always makes
I
him
don't know
yellow.
why. I've got Donald Trump's camera.
I was thinking you was going to be the former
I've
president.
got his camera. So I'm working on my president
goodness.
here, Tom. So good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. It should be a nice Saturday for everybody. And yes, it is. Shelby Heating and Air. Coming up this spring, give them a call once again. They got coupons and all kinds of things online. ShelbyHeating.com. Let's see. Today on KTC Broadcasting, big day here this weekend of sports. We'll have Sports Talk, of course. We'll be here on until about 10:15 at 12 o'clock. Is that right, or has that been moved? Is that a noon o'clock Duke and North Carolina tip-off today? Is that?
I can't see that.
I know you
look it up.
I can't see that.
Anyway, tonight, Arizona and UCLA. And then tomorrow, we've got the Missouri Valley Championship game, NASCAR Cup Racing on WCSL, and then Charlotte
6:30
Hornets.
today.
Yeah,
and
6:30.
Brooklyn
Just
Nets.
checked
All right,
it,
I need
yeah.
to update my calendar here. That's just on my little notes here. So Tar Heels today, and we'll have Arizona and UCLA tonight. After that game tomorrow, it's March Madness, folks. Missouri Valley Championship game, NASCAR Cup, Charlotte Hornets and Brooklyn Nets. Speaking of Zach, saw some Brooklyn Nets last night. He said something about that. We'll mention that in the NBA later on. But all those events you can listen to this weekend on KDC. Monday, we'll have the Southern Conference Championship game, along with Hubert Davis show. And then Tuesday, we'll have high school baseball returns here on KTC. It was supposed to happen last night, but we got rained out. But Tuesday is our scheduled start. We'll have folks East Rutherford at Crest and Kings Mountain at Cherryville in high school baseball starting off next on Tuesday, folks. Tuesday, March 7th. You can listen to that. So we'll have ready for baseball season. Tom, you excited for that? For all that?
Oh, yeah.
Got your umpire gear,
Yeah.
WD-40
Yeah.
ready to go?
I was starting to improve my mental health, but I decided to just go do some more baseball and mess that up. So been doing a couple games this week. Got rained out last night. Was supposed to go do South Point and East Gaston, and Burns beat South Point the other night. I want to say it was Thursday night or Wednesday or Thursday, one of those days in there. They beat them 3-1, and then earlier in the week, I think Wednesday, it was 11-1 against your West Lincoln Rebels there, Terry.
It was 11.
Yeah, 11-1. So Burns
Appreciate
playing
you
pretty
saying
good in the non-league play. We'll see how it goes down. I think Burns top of the lineup. Their first three hitters, Mooney, Putnam, and McGowan, I think they're going to be hard to deal with. And Josh Taylor, the little left-handed pitcher, is really, I saw him in a scrimmage game, and he was the winning pitcher against South Point. So I got a lot of faith in Burns this year. I think they're going to have a good season. They got some good players, got a good nucleus, good stability there. Coach Lonhart's been with them for a number of years now. So moving forward, I think they got a good chance in that conference this year.
All right, here's your updated for you basketball fans, high school basketball fans. This is the regionals. Are today regional finals. 1A, we'll go men's first. 1A, we'll do West for only. 1A West, Eastern Randolph and Bishop McGinnis is at Freedom High School today at 1 o'clock. The 2A West is Reedsville against Lincoln Charter today, 2 o'clock at Grimsley High School. The 3A West is West Charlotte and Central Cabarrus, a rematch of last year's Western Regional, in which Central Cabarrus came to that game undefeated and then got beat by West Charlotte. Now they come into this year's game undefeated, and they'll play West Charlotte after defeating Crest, knocking them out Tuesday night, in a big fashion. It was just, the game was over in the first quarter. It was 28-11 after the first quarter. And Tom, they don't have any height. It's just all guards out there, and they're very good guards, shooting, running, and up and down the court. It was impressive listening to that game, and listen to Brent and Jeff talk about that team.
I called them as soon as the game was over, and I can't remember what I was doing that night, but I got in the car and I put it on, and there was the post game show. I listened to maybe just a little tidbit of it, and I called them and just said, that Central Bears team's just phenomenal. It's just, it wasn't anything that Crest did wrong. It was just, they are just phenomenal. Packed house. They sold out the gym. I mean, they sold their tickets online, and you couldn't get a ticket to the place.
Wow.
They said it was really quite a sight to see. But, yeah, you're right. They did get to 40, and they ran the clock, and that's why they only scored 8 points in the fourth quarter. But, Coach Levine and Crest, very fine season getting to the point that they did. But that Central Bears team, I'm just telling you. I mean, everybody says they're the real deal. I wish I would have got to see them in person. I don't know if this one will be covered on. Do they show the games live, the playoff games on the site? I don't know if they do. I don't know if they do that.
It just says live scores will be posted.
Yeah, just live scores will be posted. But I'd like to see that team. Both of them have to go to McDowell High School. Am I reading that right?
Yes.
So they have to go to McDowell High School.
From Mecklenburg County.
From Mecklenburg County and Cabarrus County. I was like, why in the world?
Wonder if they're riding the bus together.
Why? Yeah.
Save money. Charter together.
But why wouldn't you see who's playing and then determine your neutral site?
Hey, Tom, Myers Park, North Mex playing at Providence High School. Wouldn't West Charlotte and Central Cabarrus like to play there?
That's what I'm saying. But why would you not? Why would you not say, hey, let's see where this thing?
Charlotte Catholic has to play at Providence High School.
Yeah,
that's what 2-minute drive.
I just don't understand.
How far is that drive, Terry? You can walk to there, can't you, from Charlotte Catholic to Providence?
I don't understand the logic behind anything that comes out of Chapel Hill.
East Lincoln's got to go to McDowell girls. They play the 3A West at 1 p.m. The Lake Norman Charlotte Catholic girls at Providence High School at 2 o'clock. 2A West, Salisbury and East Burke, noon at Grimsley High School. And 1A West, Bishop McGinnis versus Robbinsville. They got boys and girls in the West Finals for Bishop McGinnis. You heard that correctly, folks. So there are your West regional finals. I was about to pull the bracket up whenever I could find it, but anyway.
Well, I mentioned something about the girls. The West Rowan and East Lincoln game. You got two teams there that are both undefeated. West Rowan 29-0, East Lincoln 31-0. West Rowan averages 75 points a game. East Lincoln averages 64. But here's the kicker: West Rowan gives up 28.5 points a game. East Lincoln gives up 28.2 points a game. So you got defense coming here for both of them. 6 times West Rowan has held a team. 6 times West Rowan has held a team to score under 20 points. East Lincoln's done it 5 times. 5 times they've had a team score over 40. I mean, both of these teams' defense is total what they're going to have, and they've battled all year long for who's number one. So, good girls game here for somebody to see.
Yeah. One thing, as far as I like to preach, my number one thing to the youth kids playing basketball is learn how to dribble. Mm-hmm. The number one thing is learn how to dribble. 99% of y'all aren't going to be 6'8" and don't have to dribble. And the more better you can dribble, the higher levels of basketball you'll be able to play. It wasn't, Terry, you're talking about those defense. I guarantee those teams are getting held under 20 points and stuff. Only got 1 or 2 girls that can dribble.
Yeah.
Same thing on the boys teams. There's
You're
one
right.
of these teams got are holding teams to 30 some points a game. You can't tell me they don't got more than 2 people that can dribble the ball well. And just for example, on one team I know I played on, we had 3 or 4 kids that were fast as could be. They could dribble with one hand, and that was it. I don't know how many kids I got to play over because they couldn't dribble with one hand, and we could only dribble with one hand. If you can't dribble both hands and move, that's where this defense and then it breaks down big time once you get to high school basketball. You see numbers like that.
It does, and it aggravates me to watch a team and you try to dribble through presses. Forget that. If you got 3 guys who can dribble or 3 girls who can dribble, different story. But if you've only got 1, you're not dribbling through a press. Mm-mm. I mean, there's no way. You got to pass. You got to pass. You got to pass.
Yeah, but where does that start? It starts in elementary school.
Oh, it does.
Right, so
it starts all the way back.
That's what I preach. So I give them basketballs. Here's a basketball. Take it home and dribble.
But at the same time, some of the people that are doing that to scream at refs and watch your kid play.
But,
when we were kids, I think it was a little bit different.
But the problem we got, I'm gonna say the problem we got now is it's the same thing Kevin talks about a lot was this Instagram stuff where the kids wanting to practice that kind of stuff instead of practicing their fundamental stuff. For me and him, and you guys probably did the same thing. We would be outside, all day long, and we would be doing these kind of things, dribbling.
I've had 9-year-olds tell me they're mad about being at the game because they wanted to play TikTok.
Well, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I know.
9-year-olds.
When I used to go over to the Lincoln Rec, and I'm not gonna mention the guy's name but this guy used to come over there all the time, and I've never in my life because even me when I'm out there playing, I always watched him because I'm like, man, what's this guy doing? He would spend an hour to an hour and a half before he ever come out there and wanted to play basketball, just dribbling. Yeah. Over on the side. The guy ended up going to Belmont Abbey, ended up being pretty darn good. But, every time I sit back and think about stuff like that, I think about that guy in Lincoln Rec. That's all he did for about an hour to hour and a half. And then all of a sudden he'd come over and he'd go, y'all got a game coming up? I want to play.
The kids that make it to next level in basketball are the ones that dribble up the street, are the ones that go to their friend's house.
Fundamentals.
And if you
fundamentals.
And then you, of course, like I said, once you get 6'8", 6'9", you cannot have any fundamentals, and they just stick you out. That's a weird sport. Like you can just lose all talent as long as you're tall enough, and
Chuck
you can just go out there.
Chuck Nevitt, we just talked about him a minute ago. He played center. Well, I mean, of all the people, we had a guy that was 7'2" playing our middle. And I'd be like, why do we got him in there? But you'd have to alter your shot to get over
even
him.
if he wasn't good.
Yeah, that's it. And everything changes. And then he went on to the NBA to play for like 12 years.
Well, what do they say? What do they say?
Sat on the bench, 7'2".
I had a coach tell me one time, I can't coach height. Right?
Yeah,
exactly.
You can't coach him to be taller. That's true.
Central Bears, who I was talking about defensively, that I was referring to, they in this tournament, guys, have given up 35, 46, 53, and 50, while averaging right at 90 is where they
They're
do
just blowing people away.
And it's from listening to them, it's all guard play.
But I'm surprised. If you see what's happened in Cabarrus County, they've built Hickory Ridge over there, which is a huge school. Because I was at Central Cabarrus at one time, many, many moons ago, and I don't see how they've been able to do what they've done. I know they've lost a lot of kids to the new high schools that have been built around there, so it really surprises me that they're this dominant.
Well, they don't have a single kid listed at over 200 pounds.
Yeah, they're just fast.
They got 1 6'4" kid, 1 6'5" kid.
6'4" is pretty.
That's pretty tall for high school. For high school, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Well, but you don't know if that's the one not even playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I've been on teams with 6'4", 6'5" guys over there.
Yeah.
I lead the team out and do layups. Nobody thinks I'm playing, and the 6'4", 6'5" guys back here. Oh, that's gonna look how tall he is. He's tall enough to reach down and grab my water, Tom.
They usually play in height. If you're 6'5", they'll figure out a way to get you out there.
I don't know. Some of them.
But what they've done up there has just really surprised me that they've been able to do what they've been able to do.
All right, Tuesday I want to mention one of our announcers, Brian Nichols, is also coach over at Holbrook. He's got his girls team in the basketball finals against Belmont Tuesday. Gaston County Championship at Ashbrook 6:00. If anyone would like to go out and support him or Holbrook or Belmont Middle Schools. That is Tuesday.
And don't forget East Burke out of our conference still in it. So they play Salisbury.
Now, Salisbury just beat Shelby Golden Lions girls, Tom. So that's who Shelby, 46-40 is who the Golden Lions lost to. So a big matchup for East Burke against Salisbury there as well. All right, JP, how's your biscuit?
I haven't eaten it yet.
Haven't eaten it yet. I had a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit from McDonald's here in Cherryville. Zach?
I had a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle.
I had a sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin this week.
Bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddle for me.
We all like our bread a little different. What'd you say, Tom?
That's what we like.
What'd you say you had, Tom?
Bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddle.
Tom likes his bacon instead. JP, what do you have
A sausage biscuit.
A sausage biscuit. All right. Get your biscuits and breakfast, lunch, and dinner from McDonald's. Our local McDonald's here in Cherryville is a sponsor, and also Mr. Kuthan and the gang on a couple other McDonald's here around the area. So stop by and check them out. All right, we come back. We got all kinds of things to talk about today. We got NASCAR. We got bracketology. got NBA. We've got NFL news and notes. Some we got all kinds of little just tidbits and things to talk about. Get in today. Exciting day here on Saturday Sports Talk. We'll be back. KDCBroadcasting.com.
They are there when you need them. We're talking about Shelby Heating and Air, where their customers come first. No matter the weather or the temperature, they'll be there to make sure you're comfortable. Ask about their safety furnace checkup for $99. Plus, ask about their up to $750 in rebates on select products. That's Shelby Heating and Air. Call 704-487-7877. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. They are there when you need them.
Tax time savings are awaiting you at Oak Grove Auto Sales Service and Body Shop in Kings Mountain. Bring your tax money in for some great deals. They have cars for all budgets, like a 2013 Toyota Highlander with new tires and third row seating priced at $17,995. Also a 2015 Nissan Rogue with only 45,000 miles priced at $19,995. At Oak Grove Auto Sales Service and Body Shop, 522 Oak Grove Road in Kings Mountain. Online at oakgroveauto.com. Like them on Facebook too. I'm sure you've been to those websites. Click here, click there, and you're still not where you want to be. That's not the case at mossrealty.com. Mossrealty.com is super user-friendly. It has even been voted the best local consumer real estate website. Check it out yourself. You be the judge. Moss Realty, voted best of Gaston and your hometown real estate specialist. Buying, selling, it doesn't matter. Contact Moss Realty. 704-865-5555, located at 945 North New Hope Road in Gastonia. And yes, online at mossrealty.com. The Don Gibson Theater in Shelby is a 400-seat concert hall, bringing you nationally known acts and musicians who have won Grammys, gold albums, and Best of the Year awards. Musicians that you may already have in your collection. Jazz, blues, comedy acts, bluegrass, summer movie series, and everything in between. You'll see it all at the Don Gibson Theater. Upcoming acts include Leroy Parnell on March 10th and Tommy C. on April 14th. For tickets and information, call 704-487-8144 or stop by the ticket office at 318 South Washington Street in Shelby.
Hi, I'm Sherry Hefner, the pastor's wife at the First Baptist Church of Cherryville. Proverbs 22:6 says, "Teach your children the way they should go, and when they grow up, they will not depart from it." As a mother of 4 teens and young adult children, I can attest to the many challenges of Christian parenting in these modern times. That is why this scripture is such a comfort to me. I can rest assured knowing that regardless of the choices my children may make in life, they can never get away from the godly upbringing that my husband and I have provided for them. Are you laying a godly foundation for your children? This is Sherry Hefner of First Baptist Cherryville, where we strive to accomplish all things through Christ.
With warmer weather coming soon, get a great rate on recreational vehicles such as motorcycles, campers, boats, RVs, tractors, and more. Carolina Federal Credit Union is offering a special rate on recreational vehicles as low as 4.99% APR. Apply online at carolinafcu.org, by phone, or in person. Rates are based on credit history. Let Carolina Federal Credit Union treat you like family. Located at 1200 East Church Street in Cherryville.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. I want to remind the listeners about Shelby Heating Air, 704-487-7877.
That's right, Shelby Heating and Air, your sponsor of this Saturday Morning Sports Talk. Once again, it's 704-487-7877.
Well, Kevin just fell over. He was trying to run down.
I was wondering what happened.
Check them out online.
That's it.
ShelbyHeating.com for all your heating and air needs. As Kevin said, they've got specials and coupons on their website, Shelby Heating and Air. One more time, 704-487-7877.
He's trying to dribble with his left hand.
That was
He was just bragging about how good he dribbles, and he fell down walking down.
A 100-yard dash.
That was me. As I pulled the iPhone out of my pocket, decided to frisbee it down the hallway in front of me, all in one motion.
We got new bracketology out today.
Yes, sir.
Carolina's
Last time I saw, the Hills were 2 away from the end game. That makes sense. They were the second one out.
Oh, well, maybe they are now. Hope they on that.
Number one overall seed right now is Alabama. First team out, Arizona. And the last team in, Penn State, according to Joe Lenardi. On his bubble.
You go.
Same spot.
Yeah.
On his bubble, last 4 in Mississippi State, Nevada, Wisconsin, then Penn State, then Arizona State as 69, Carolina as 70 in the bracketology.
So you're going to tell me they're going to let Nevada in before North Carolina?
No. I want to tell you something. I want to tell you something right here. There's no way, and I am a state man, and it would be the thrill to me that Carolina wouldn't make it.
Right.
I'm just being honest. You cannot leave Carolina out now. And this is my whole theory. They're going to finish above 500 in the ACC.
They beat Virginia.
Yep. I mean, they have done what that, even though that was only their first quad one ring.
Yeah, but Virginia was never in the game. I mean, I watched part of that. I mean,
That's
they
what
just
I'm
were
saying.
never even in the game.
But you cannot do this to the ACC. I do not care that Duke and Carolina are not elite this year. You cannot balance the whole ACC off of those two teams. They've got new coaches, new players, new everything, and you still looking at the ACC where they're saying you're only going to have 5. You know, get that off of your mind. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's absolutely makes no sense to me. Joe Lenardi, your bracketology here is wrong. Carolina should be in. I'm sorry. I'm telling him. They should be in. And, again, I'm not a Carolina fan, but if you can finish above 500 in the ACC, you deserve to make it.
You gonna let Mississippi State in over?
No, there's your problem.
In Carolina.
When I look at the bracketology and I start looking at some of them teams from the Big 12 and they're playing each other and they saying, "Oh, this is a critical game," and I look at your conference record and it's like 5-11.
Yeah.
And they're talking about you getting in. Come on, get real.
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
I know one team that's not getting in. Ohio State. Even though they've won 2 straight, they're not getting in.
What about Charlotte?
That's
your alma mater. He never mentions them, Terry.
He
does
never.
They got
He
a
never.
football team and everything. We always talk about Ohio State.
I mean, I've kept up with them because when you listen to the news in the morning, they'll say, they've not got a bad conference record this year. At least they didn't last time I looked. I think they would definitely have to win their conference tournament to get in, but they haven't been in so long.
I know.
What's the name of their
Been
conference?
a while. I think they're in the.
Well, the last time I can remember on
Conference USA was what I remember.
But no, I don't think it's Conference
I don't
USA anymore. See, I started to say Horizon, but that's Youngstown State's conference.
When's the last time they was in the tournament? Can you remember, Tom?
Gosh.
I have to go back to Cedric
I'd have to
Maxwell
look.
now back in.
Roderick Howard, he never made it. Did
Are
he?
they in
Did
Conference
they? They did.
USA?
It would have been
No,
right.
I know
see,
they
they're not
made
in
it before
yeah,
then.
they're there. See, I knew it wasn't horrible. 9-10, 18-12 overall. They're not horrible.
You don't even know what conference your alma mater is.
I know.
So it is. I didn't think it was still Conference USA either.
I didn't know. They've moved around a little bit.
See, there's where I'd have to say. Now, Charlotte, I'd have to leave them out.
And if you're watching, be
below
proud of
500.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Go 49ers.
Yeah,
I
you're below
just-
500.
Tom, in
in
your
your
defense, you actually went there when they were good at
In a
basketball.
bad
and stuff,
conference.
didn't you?
Yeah, I did go there when they were good at basketball.
Gosh.
I guess I don't pay attention. And my daughter goes to school there too, so that
Has
makes
she
it
ever
even
been to a
worse.
Can your
basketball
daughter
game?
not text you
She's
right
probably
quick,
been to 2 or 3.
saying, "Dad, we're in this
2 or
conference."
3. Yeah, I don't keep up with them. I should keep up with them, but
You
I
text your
don't.
daughter and ask her
No
what
lie.
conference.
Come on now.
Your
But,
school.
Help him out.
But I also graduated from East Carolina. I probably couldn't tell you what conference they're in. I also graduated from Ashland University. I probably couldn't tell you what conference they're in.
Ashland, is that an old girls' school?
Yeah, it's an all-girls school. That's why I went there. I changed my identity for a little while. Why not? Everybody else
That's what I'm
does.
like.
Yeah.
Great way to get.
I thought it was Conference
great way to get
USA, but I-
scholarships.
like you, Zach, they were in another conference and switched.
I know they were.
They've been. I want to say they were in the Atlantic 10.
You were.
And then switched.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at him calling me out on the air.
Well,
That's fine. That's fine.
I mean,
We're talking bracketology.
That's
I
what
haven't
I'm
heard
talking
the word
about.
Charlotte yet.
Well, they're just not relevant. You know what I mean? If they were relevant, they're just not relevant. They're just not in. They're never talked about. I don't know why. I guess when you're in the state with Duke and Carolina and State and all these other teams, it's just hard to get guys to come there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
In the Sun Belt, App's 9-9 this year, 16-6 after losing their professional basketball prospect.
I was going.
He's in the NBA, DL, whatever it is, and so they're not going either, Tom. So
Go ahead and say. At least I know what conference my team's
Right.
in. But anyway,
they're in the Sun Belt.
that's fine.
you learned something
fine.
today, Tom.
I know
did
you
learn
learned something.
something
You're on
today.
KTC.
Take it back
Yeah.
to school with you on Monday.
JP, turn the mics off so I can tell
Hey,
them what I'm really
and in
thinking.
big news, Kevin Durant went to the Phoenix Suns. Not
Yeah.
Related. Well, in the ACC, Pittsburgh is in first, tied with Miami and Virginia, all at 14-5. Clemson and Duke at 13-6, one game behind. NC State at 12-8. Carolina 11-8, and Wake Forest 10-9. Terry, does all 8 teams deserve to be in? You said above 500.
I would go all the way down to Wake. I think just deserving. If you're above in your conference, in the ACC, especially your Big Five, you know what I'm saying?
I've always thought 20 wins was a.
I was thinking 20. I had exact same thing in my head.
That was the old Dick Vitale.
Yep, that was what I had in my mind.
But the problem is, you got teams like Duke who play 15 teams or half their wins.
Yeah, against nobody.
Yeah, and I understand that. But I was thinking that 20. That was, and that might have been beating our heads for watching it for some years.
So to get today's game for Carolina fans means everything.
Yeah.
Because that would be 20.
Well, see, I had that in my head when I was looking at their record, because I was looking at their record versus Duke.
They can win the ACC tournament too.
Oh yeah, that's always
not the tournament.
Look at Duke.
But now get a win in the
look
ACC
at Duke.
tournament.
Look at Duke. 16-0 at home and 9 road games.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
Yeah, that's how you go. I think that's what hurt Carolina, because they're 4-7 away. They're no good on the road, but State's 4-6.
I was going to say nobody is except the top 3 teams. Almost all these teams are like that. That's why they don't play the road games. Look at Duke. 3-6 away.
That's the old Krzyzewski rule. You don't play anybody. I remember last year they went up and got beat at Ohio State. They don't want to.
They're 3-2 in neutral. So so overall they're 6-8 in non-Duke at home games.
At least
so how do you measure that, Terry? If you're at home, you're what, not 16-0, but you're 6-8 in non-Cameron games.
And you'd have to. Then the second thing you need to do is look and see who they played at home.
Great.
Look at their home games.
Well, yeah, they played
all the cupcakes.
I'll tell you something.
I'm gonna tell you
something.
It's
It's not just the other teams do it, but it's just weird how this. Like I said in college basketball, same thing with college basketball and college football. College football, you have 16 teams in a conference. Why can't we play all 11 games in that conference?
Yeah.
Same thing in basketball. You could play 20 games. How many teams are in the conference? 16. So you can play 30 games in conference just by playing 2.
You want to hear some of these big names that Duke plays non-conference? Jacksonville, USC Upstate, Delaware, Baltimore. No, excuse me. I got to put my glasses on. It's not Baltimore.
That ain't your glasses.
Oh, Lordy.
Whatever this is. Bellarmine. Have you ever even heard of that place? Bellarmine? Never heard of it. Okay.
I hope we had that on camera.
Is he struggling? I had it on the little. I had it on the little one. I didn't have it on the.
I got it now.
He's gonna look like Jordy on Star Trek.
We're gonna do Reading Rainbow today.
Yeah, well, I couldn't. I said Baltimore, Bellarmine. Who's ever even heard of that place?
Good God.
I've never heard of it. The point is, they don't play anybody.
Well, the other day when State played Duke, and everybody was like, "Hey, that's what I heard when I went to work." Duke beat State, and I'm like, "I'm proud for y'all. You beat us 71-67."
4 point win.
But Smith and Marcel were 2 out of 17 from the floor. That's never heard of at State. They're a whole lot better than that, And I'm like, okay, if you're proud with this 4-point win you had, fantastic, y'all. Shire, you're unbeaten at home. Congratulations.
They'll beat Baltimore.
I'll tell you something that Dean Smith used to do, and people would give him, the Carolina fans weren't too thrilled about it, but like, Tom, you see these teams like, say, Maryland Eastern Shore. So if you see that on the Carolina schedule, it would be almost at a school near there or at that school, because what he would do, say Vince Carter was from, was it Midland, Florida? And they would play Bethune-Cookman every year, is because his family could watch him play. Right. So that they would take one trip to these, basically all their road games would be so their families could see some of these players.
Especially like their senior year, they would do it.
Smith and Krzyzewski's approach. Let's go hammer. Who'd you say?
Baltimore.
Bellarmine. South Carolina.
I didn't even know they had a team.
I had my glasses on. Give me a break.
That's not even a word. I don't think that's a word. What is Bellarmine?
Well, that's what I said. I looked at it. I thought it said Baltimore without my glasses.
Oh, so it wasn't Baltimore. I was like, I never heard of Baltimore.
It's Bellarmine or
something.
I've never heard of it.
It's a weird place.
It's a weird.
Where's that, Tom? Do you know?
I have no.
Any guesses? What state?
I can see it. So I ain't gonna
What state, Terry?
I'm gonna say Vermont.
Tom.
Okay, who knows?
I'm gonna say Connecticut.
Kentucky, Louisville,
Okay,
Kentucky.
there you
is
go.
Bellarmine
Way off.
University.
But Kevin, if you're looking
There
at
you
their
go.
schedule, they played 2 big road games early in the year. Purdue got waxed. They played at Kansas, or it was a neutral site. I don't know if it was I know I think the Purdue game was Big Ten Challenge, which they don't do anymore. And the Kansas was either neutral or on the road. Lost both of those games. So, that's why they don't venture out onto the road unless they have to.
But Shires just took up what Mike Krzyzewski's taught him.
They didn't play Louisville, Kentucky. They played a community college from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
It's who Duke played.
Yeah,
and this is the same thing with the Alabamas out there in football and stuff. When you play these teams, and college really has to fix this. I just, it is one of my biggest pet peeves with that.
Well, I want to go over the games today because y'all tell me which ones mean something. 2:00 today, Louisville at Virginia.
Oh, that's horrible.
Virginia, and it doesn't mean anything unless Virginia gets beat.
2:30, 2:30 today, Georgia Tech at Boston College. I know that doesn't mean anything. 4:00, Florida State at Virginia Tech. 5:00, Wake Forest at Syracuse.
That might be for Wake Forest. They're at 18-12.
Yeah. 6:00, Pittsburgh at Miami. Both of those teams are ranked.
They're ranked. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a big game.
6:30, Duke at UNC. Big game for Carolina. I mean, that's how I look at it. And then the last game, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish at Clemson. So the big game for Clemson.
Big game for Clemson. They got to win that, and they got to do some stuff in the ACC tournament.
Yeah, and North Carolina State, after they played the other night, they're done until the tournament next week, and they play on Wednesday. They do know they play on Wednesday.
You can get tickets for Georgia Tech at Boston College for less than the hot dogs will be at Carolina and Duke.
Yeah.
So $4 for the tickets at Georgia Tech and Boston College today.
Kevin, need you to verify this. Calvin says Coach K didn't let his seniors start on senior night. Is that true?
I have no idea.
Oh, well, I guess Calvin says they didn't. Calvin would know.
As a Tar Heel fan, he is more of an expert on Duke basketball.
Yeah, he would.
than anyone who with a healthy lifestyle or anything should be.
I know that Calvin's hatred for Duke runs pretty deep.
I think it's stronger than the love for North
Carolina. So when he said that, I was like, I've never paid attention to that.
So I'm the type of person that could get paid, $25 million, win 2 Super Bowls, like Jimmy Johnson retire, and he keeps working in fish and whatever, and then like Coach K and him, I'm happy that they beat him, knocked him out of the Final Four. It don't matter if, like I said, they could have went 0-30 this year, wouldn't matter to me one bit, and he's over pulling hairs out over Duke, over these two, and the Carolina fans that complain about Hubert Davis. Real quick, go ahead, Dave. If you got a comment, I want to look up a stat.
Well, the reason I'm saying this because me and Tom were speaking of an individual before we come on the air that now is working with us. But this individual come in my room the other day, and like I said, we've been there, and I've been a State fan all my whole life. But she come in there the other day and looked around my room. She said, you're a State fan. I said, yes, ma'am, I sure am. First thing she says, she goes, I hate Carolina. I would pull for Russia before I'd pull for Carolina. And I was like, back in my younger days, I would have did the same thing, but I've seen how harsh everybody's been against the ACC that I'm not that bad against Carolina now because I want the ACC to have enough teams where we can win it.
Yeah.
But, and I said, I also look now that my son pulls for Carolina, my daughter pulls for Duke. I mean, our whole family's messed up, and I don't know how that happened.
Well. Yeah, my whole family's messed up.
I don't know how
that
happened. I'm just the patriarch of my family. It's all screwed up. Don't know whose fault that is.
Y'all are out of the wheel.
What did y'all do when I went to the bathroom?
Yeah. What is wrong with y'all?
We were drinking. But no, I know who you're talking about. She is a huge NC State fan. Yeah, she's a huge NC State fan.
Well, here's what I want to talk about, the Hubert Davis thing, Terry. Dean Smith, in his first few years, didn't win 20 games till his 6th year at Carolina.
They didn't play as many, though.
Thank you, Tom.
Just making a point.
Holy Christ. Anyway, his total win totals was, let's see, 40, 58, 66, and 47. If Hubert Davis goes 66 and 47, Terry he'd be fired.
He'd already be gone.
So that's 66 and 47. Let's say 3 years. That's an average.
So he's already set a
That's an average of 22 and 15.
Coach K never did what he's doing.
If he went 22 and 15 every year, first few years, would they? I don't know. I mean, this is what Carolina fans need to keep in perspective. Like 47 losses in his first 5 years.
And there's no way that I can sit here because, again, I'm not a Carolina fan, and again, I would love to see him not make it, but again, they're good enough to get in, and he has the talent on that team to go a long way.
And we've said this multiple times on here about this team. They don't have that one. We say Team Wolf every week. They don't have him. If they had that, it's a different conversation for Hubert Davis.
It would be.
6'10" 3-point shooter makes a difference, guys. All right, let's look at the brackets matchup. I'm going to refix my
to see
screen.
where State fell.
So basically, your thesis is if they had better players, they wouldn't be where they are.
If they just had that one, if they just had that one player, they had one guy.
That's pretty much
and
right?
tell Caleb Love to quit firing threes.
Tom, that thesis checks out.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of an obvious thesis.
Checks out perfect.
Boy, if Carolina had Michael Jordan back, they'd be really good this year.
Be on fire. It only worked once. Alabama in the 1 seed, Kansas in the 1 seed, UCLA in the 2 with Kansas.
Well, Alabama better bring their bail money to Birmingham. Better bring a little bail money.
Not
Might
sure
have to
they're
bail out the star player.
You heard about?
I know this.
Did you hear about the controversy with Alabama at the start of a game this week?
No.
They patted the boy down before he went in.
Did they?
So
Yes.
So
they better.
They said that was the regular intro for him, but they ended up changing it. Zach. So
Yeah, might want to change it now.
It has been changed.
I think it was more of an accessory than actually the actual criminal, the actual perpetrator, I would say. But
Purdue a 1 seed, Houston a 1 seed. Houston will be playing UNC Asheville. You UNC Asheville and alums and fans out there listening to our voices right now. Terry, 10 seed.
Don't worry about it. Before this whole
worry
thing,
Did I not tell you? Did I not say? I didn't even look at
game,
it.
man.
Did I even say I told you it'd be a 10 seed? Did
We're
I
going
not?
to be a playing game. Look at it got us down. We went from
Told
8
you.
From 8 to 9, then 9 to 10.
I knew it as soon as
don't get beat, Terry.
Well, all my deal is I'll play Michigan State today. You'll not be able to play with us.
Do what now?
Michigan State will not be able to play with North Carolina State today.
Today?
If they play today.
If they had played today, we'd destroy them.
Oh, God. There you brought out the D word, destroy.
Destroy.
I hope they do play, and then they get beaten, and we can just come in here and just ridicule you again, Terry.
That'd not happen.
That'd not happen.
Well, if they won, they would get Kansas State in the second round, Terry. How you feel about that?
We're moving all the way out. There's nobody in that bracket that can play with us. Maybe
that's really not a hard bracket.
Maybe Arizona would give us a tough time.
That's it.
Yep.
Are you going to the Final Four?
Because we all know that Virginia team ain't that.
Is it NC State and Houston for the Final Four, Terry?
Hey, it could be. I'd love to see that.
That would be awesome.
What a cookout that would be with all the old NC State fans and that one. Excited about. So let's see. What else is I going to see? Purdue and Texas. Purdue's 1, Texas 2. Duke would be the 6th seed on that side. Terry, what do you think about that side of the bracket?
Duke. I don't know which team shows up. They're great at home, but you're talking about neutral sites here. Can Duke play on neutral sites?
I don't believe they can.
There's the difference. I don't know whether they can do it because eventually you're going to have to face either a Purdue or a Miami from the upper top.
And even at Tennessee.
And Iowa, you got to get through Iowa anyway.
Tennessee was ranked number 2 in the nation at one time this year.
Yeah. And Tennessee's over there. So, I mean, that's
a tough bracket versus the West.
It is. It is a whole lot harder.
Do they still have Youngstown State in there?
I did not see them, but
I didn't see them either. I know they won their opening round of their conference tournament. They were the 1 seed, so that's kind of that's my old hometown. A lot of my family
Are
members
they
went
in
there.
that spot, though, where they have to win their tournament to
They
make
would
it?
have to win it. They're not going to get an at-large bid.
That's what I'm saying.
They're going to have to win it, and they got by Detroit Mercy.
Look out.
And now they have to play Northern Kentucky. So we'll see how that shapes out for the Penguins. Because they had them in last week. I saw they had them in, but I don't see them in there. I don't see the Horizon champion who they're predicted.
Sorry, Tom. I'm looking up
No, it's okay.
Other stuff while y'all kind of talk a little bit about
I understand.
That. All right. Y'all got any more college basketball?
Utah Valley. Never heard of that.
I heard of Utah State.
Utah State, Utah, BYU. Never heard of Utah Valley.
But, you got to give Joe Lunardi a lot of credit because, half of the time, he hardly misses. he might miss a game or two.
Terry, you just called him an idiot.
Well, I did a while ago. But anyway.
Called him an idiot 30 minutes ago. Now it's like, oh, he's pretty smart.
Well, he does pretty good on this stuff. He might miss one team or two teams, but most of the time he's pretty legit. Sometimes I don't like him because he keeps moving us down.
Yeah, I could tell you didn't like him at all about 30 minutes ago, and now you're kind of like the abusive boyfriend who screams and yells and then says, "Nah, baby, I still love you."
I want to know what type of we talk about sometimes people on there. I don't know these search algorithms and why Google is protecting Duke. Terry, I'm trying to find this play where Duke player flopped like he got shot by a shotgun the other day, and I can't find it on the internet.
So he's saying
not on the internet
because he can't find one play in one basketball game. It's a conspiracy that Duke has hacked the Google algorithm.
I can't find it. I can't find it.
Oh,
well, I'm going to show what I can show you because for some reason it's the only thing I can find.
Who are they playing, Kevin?
State. Terry knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what he's talking about.
Maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe you're just exaggerating.
Yeah, watch this. Oh, boom.
Oh, I shot. Achilles got shot in the ankle, Tom.
Please tell me they didn't call that.
Oh, they did
call it. They got technical foul.
A technical foul, yeah.
Look.
He's like, get away from me. I'm going to move you back again. Watch this. Oh, God. He run into Burns and he's killed himself.
Well, the only thing that makes that significant, it's that they did call a technical foul.
Right, that's what we're talking about.
And they lost by 4.
Yeah. And we had two players that went 2 out of 17.
Where's the game being played?
That's at Duke.
Right?
Yeah,
it's at Duke.
No wonder they're undefeated.
Is
Krzyzewski
in the stands cussing out the refs?
He barely got touched in the chest.
Probably cussing out the refs.
For the radio listeners that haven't seen it, he barely gets touched in the chest. He backs into the defender, and he falls down and grabs his ankle like Achilles.
And the reason this is all happening because...
You can't tell me, Tom and Terry, at this point, they don't teach this in practice.
Well,
they do this 15 minutes a day, Tom.
Then all of a sudden falls over to the side.
They've got to have a padded corner like they do in the long jump and stuff where you practice indoors, and the Duke players practice just ridiculously falling down.
Well, my whole deal is here. Tayshaun Smith is already having a bad game because he can't hit nothing.
Scrape him off.
He went like 2 out of 9, and then Marcel's went 0 for 8. And then all of a sudden this happens, technical foul and everything else, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
All right, Duke, North Carolina today, KTC Broadcasting, game at 6:30 tonight. Coverage will start about an hour before that here on KTC. JP, you ready to get a break? Thumbs up. All right. As long as I got a thumbs up in there, we'll be right back. KTC Broadcasting.
They are there when you need them. We're talking about Shelby Heating and Air, where their customers come first. No matter the weather or the temperature, they'll be there to make sure you're comfortable. Ask about their safety furnace checkup for $99. Plus, ask about their up to $750 in rebates on select products. That's Shelby Heating and Air. Call 704-487-7877. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. They are there when you need them.
You may wonder what makes us different here at First Federal Savings Bank. We have been intertwined with this community for over 80 years. Here at First Federal Savings Bank, we take pride in Lincoln County, and that's why you see us donating time and resources to local charities and the schools in our community. Being a hometown bank is more than just a saying for us. It's about action and impact in the community in such a way that present and future generations are proud to call Lincoln County home. Stop in and see us here at First Federal Savings Bank today. Equal housing lender and member FDIC. Check out the tax time deals at Eric Johnson Auto Sales in Cherryville, where you get quality cars and trucks at a great price. Just arrived a 2014 Ford F-150 truck priced at $16,900. Or how about a 2012 Ford Expedition priced at $12,900. And there's a 2018 Dodge Journey priced at $13,800. And financing is available. Come in and drive away in your new-to-you pre-owned vehicle and save. At Eric Johnson Auto Sales, 3626 Tryon Courthouse Road, right outside of Cherryville. Online at ericjohnsonautoSales.com. You know, spring is just around the corner. Now's the time to get your equipment ready for spring with a visit to Eddie's Auto Parts in Lincoln. Race on in and get your lawnmower and tractor batteries, oil filters, and more. And when you buy from your local independent CarQuest dealer, you're buying from your neighbors and friends. At Eddie's Auto Parts, 2514 East Main Street in Lincoln, your locally owned independent CarQuest Auto Parts dealer.
When you want some help from a fellow car lover, it's all in one place, as you'll discover. Roll in to CarQuest and roll on.
This is Skylar Rambo Cheney, driving the NASCAR Weekly Late Model Series car number 17. When I look for quality-based local community businesses, I look no further than ProMotion Motor Company, Countrytown Tire, Bugbusters Incorporated, and North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance with Marvin Melton. These are Lincoln County businesses with Lincoln County pride and quality. So shop local, and I will see you at the track.
We're going to rock around the clock tonight.
You can rock around the clock in your new rocker recliner from Carolina Furniture Mart in Lincoln. Right now, they've got more recliners than Carter's got liver pills. All types, over 100 in stock, ready for your home. Rocker recliners, wall-hugging recliners, power recliners, extra wide recliners, recliners for extra big men, swivel glider recliners, and 8 styles of lift chairs. Have it delivered or listen to this deal. Pick it up for an extra special discount at Carolina Furniture Mart, 644 North Aspen Street in Lincoln, and see their page at whatsupshopper.com.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Lot with Kevin and the gang. They're watching a video somewhere. I don't really know. I just kind of.
Oh, yeah.
I just work here.
Yeah, you do.
704-487-7877. Shelby Heating and Air Sports sponsoring Saturday Morning Sports.
Terry's working on his application to Kansas as we speak.
I am.
Yeah, just one more time. Shelby Heating and Air, 704-487-7877. Online, shelbyheating.com for all your heating and air needs.
Yeah.
Terry
Sometimes there's people you need to meet.
Trying to get to Kansas.
I always recommend the schools near the ocean. For some reason, might want to check Kansas out.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to bring up something else this past week as we start this.
God.
Yeah, I know. Seth Willis from West Lincoln, 2019 graduate, pitches a no-hitter at Tusculum. It's the first one ever in their 123-year history.
Wow.
I was like, man, this guy, he's a great young man. His dad's named Nobby. Everybody knows him over at West Lincoln by Nobby. But he's a great young man. He umpires for me. He does whatever it is, one of the best I've got. But when he went over there and he pitched this game, and all of a sudden I see this, and I'm like, congratulations to him. But 123-year history of this school, and a guy from West Lincoln pitches the first no-hitter. He struck out 13, walked 1. He was a pitcher of the week this past week over there. Congratulations to you, buddy. And I don't know how the colleges all work, whether you can move, transfer, or Tusculum. Maybe they can help you, the coaching staff. Give yourself an opportunity to play more. You know what I'm saying? For them. I mean, congratulations. That's all I got to say.
That is great. But I can't believe that a school with 123 years. Is that right?
123 years.
Never had a no-hitter?
Yeah. Never had one.
Wow. I can see never had a perfect game, but no-hitter.
Yeah, it was against Davis and Elkins College. It's a private school based out of West Virginia that he beat. And again, he struck out 13, walked 1, and he retired the last 18 consecutive batters in the game for him. But
that's
again,
fair. That's pretty good.
Great job.
Yep.
Must not recruit a lot of pitching, Tom.
No, I guess not. I guess they require hitting.
Or they
it makes more for a more entertaining game.
Or they were just really bad at keeping stats for 123 years.
So, well,
or something.
Since Terry brought it up, and I'm getting the text from the outside.
Who's that, Tom?
Outside folks. Zach, we're going to have to watch this video.
All right.
You seen this, Zach?
I have not.
You have not seen this. Well, Terry mentioned Nobby, and back in about 1983, there was a documentary he made around here about Nobby, and we've got a special guest.
Really, Sasquatch?
Yeah, we got a special guest appearance here on this documentary we found on YouTube the other day.
Oh my gosh, is that?
Is that what? That's John Alexander. You know who that is from
no.
Sevierville, Tennessee? You and him were good buddies?
No. Okay, I thought it was somebody else.
All right. So John here is
Put your glasses on,
but
Tom.
you might recognize the next fella, Tom. Zach, if you would hit computer. Now, let's see if you guys recognize the next fella. You folks on radio, let's see if you recognize the voice that you'll hear.
Because you can't track a wet scent.
Well,
hunting nobbies become quite a hobby.
That video is a little messy. Maybe not there for a sec. Zach, it's already
it's already up. Yep.
Turned all the way up on that. Give me a sec. I'm gonna refresh this one just in case, because that sounds just like a programming issue there. Anyway, there was a documentary in the 80s
one
here.
Thing that the folks who've seen nobbies seem to have in common. Most of their property.
And my volume's not working right on it.
And that's led a lot
This
of
is
the
that ain't
speculate
normal.
creature
I don't know why
may
that's
travel along
not
the
doing
stream
that.
bed.
We'll get back to it. I'm gonna reset that. I had to play that at the end of the show. There's something weird happening with that. Anyway, all right, we'll move on from there. No biggie. Let's go on to NBA action. Terry, your Celtics can't beat the Nets.
No, I don't think it's all that. I think once you, and I will go back to, and how would I put this? Coaching staff, I think he learned a lesson last night. When you're destroying, as I put it, somebody, and you're up by 28, quit taking your starters out. Let's finish. You're still in the first half. This is the NBA. These guys can score. And, and when you started bringing in a bunch of guys off the bench to giving your starters rest and all this stuff, and then you're asking them to go back into the game. Don't get me wrong, they wasn't out long, but then all of a sudden Brooklyn starts picking away. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, they've caught you. But the whole, again, is it's hard to be at a mental state of when you're beating somebody, and then you get taken out. Then you get stuck back in like, okay, let's pick it back up like we had it a while ago, like last 5 minutes. And you cannot do that. This is the NBA, and once you lose that drive, it's hard to adjust and come back and do it again. And Boston last night, to me, I mean, they're going to fall a game and a half back now of Milwaukee. And I'm like the guy said after the game, he says, you need to have game 7 in Boston, not Milwaukee. Because last year that Boston took the games before and they had the last one at home, and that's what you got to build on. You got to finish this off. I was very disappointed in them last night. They played a great game, but mental mistakes down the end just cost them. And for Brooklyn, and this is without Kevin Garnett, without Harden, without Irvin, this team is pretty good. I mean, they're not bad. Bridges is a great guy for them to have. Dinwiddie can play. I mean, they've got guys who can play, but for Boston to blow a 28-point lead, stop back, look at yourself again, and adjust.
And they needed that. They needed that win because Milwaukee's like 15, 16 straight.
Yeah, they have.
And you know what? That's the team I always forget about. When I think about the big ones, I don't know why.
I do the same thing.
I shouldn't, because I think about Boston,
Philadelphia,
and Philly, because those are the bigger markets. And then like Milwaukee, because I've gone back and watched the show a couple times, and I'm like, why am I saying Cleveland's third? What am I missing? I was like, wait a minute, I'm missing Milwaukee, missing Giannis. Yeah. And it just seems like, yeah, those bigger markets get more of that media coverage. But that would put my Cavs down, I think, as a number 4. They lost to your Celtics the other day. And I would say that the big boys, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Boston, I think any one of those 3 can come out of the East. And then there's Cleveland. You know what I mean?
I look at Cleveland as having a puncher's chance, like in boxing. Like they've got that big hitter with Donovan. If he comes in, he goes off, they can win.
They seem not to do well against the big boys. I'd have to look at it.
But and the thing that gets you is you have to sit back and think, and this is how I look at it on the opposite side. Milwaukee, it's took you 16 games straight to even catch Boston. So that's how good Boston is. I mean, Boston, lost last night, which that hurt them. I mean, it dropped them another, game back. But now you got a 2-game stretch in that loss column, and I always look at the loss column because you're all going to play 82 games, and now Boston's got to hope that they lose twice.
Yeah.
It's a big thing there, and if you won 16 straight, now it's all the pressure's back on Milwaukee now. Don't lose. I mean, Boston gave one away last night. That's what they did. And when I look at that stretch and I start thinking about it, I would love for Boston to be a number 2. Because if they have to play, they're going to play Philadelphia. And we're much better prepared to play a Philadelphia than we are a Cleveland. Because to me, Cleveland's going to give us more trouble than Philadelphia will. Even with Embiid and them, I think Boston will still beat the 76ers.
Well, I think it's anybody's of those top 3. Whoever's getting hot, whoever's playing well at the right time, because it's a couple. When do the playoffs start? It seems like they start, doesn't it?
20 games left in the season.
20 games left in the season. So
seems
about
like it's
another
been a
month.
long season. Maybe it's just me this year. But
I just think it's on the
long. It's long.
We went so long before we had an all-star
it might
break.
be what it is.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of breaks, LeBron, is it
How
over
about
for this season there, Terry?
I hope so.
They'll get in. They'll get in.
I'm not a Laker man.
The first game he's out, Anthony Davis sits out for resting, dog.
Yeah. Think of that.
They
And I had all kinds of people.
They're in the 11 seed, just sitting out games. Like, we can't even talk
Stars.
competitive anymore. Like, this is what the NBA is now. And Barkley said something about it the other day, but, like, at some point, like, well, what's he resting for?
But, well,
if they're
what
in
did
the
LeBron
playoffs.
What did LeBron do? As soon as he broke that record, the very next game he was out.
Look. They're only 3 games out of, like, being in the actual playoff. Look at that. Dallas is 3 games ahead of the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
So you're sitting out, and you're only 3 games back of not even being in that little play-in nonsense.
There's 18 games. They got 18 games left in the season.
It's there's getting a little bit of stuff behind this because Barkley made a comment about it. Kendrick Perkins has made a comment. They're saying it's disrespectful to the people that got them there to make what they're making. It's also disrespectful to the fans.
Well, that Barkley told with Stephen A. He said we got bums out here making $10 million.
and the guy Anthony Edwards, you see what he said?
Oh, Anthony wants to play. I told you that's Michael Jordan's son. Y'all can't tell me nothing.
He said this might be the only game that they could ever go see.
Yeah,
like a fan.
That's the most important.
You know what I'm saying? He said, "What are we doing?" You know.
So,
look how bad San Antonio is.
Old Pop, he's the Hall of Famer, right?
You never would think of that. That's Pop as a coach, and them being 16-47.
Why do they not? Why not fire him?
Well, they're not because of everything that he's done. But my whole
they just
deal,
have 10 years of winning 30 games, and
that's
never
what I'm
do
saying.
anything?
I mean, surely to God, he has to sit back saying, "This is not me."
Wouldn't you pat him on the back? How about a vice president job?
Right?
How about that?
Yeah.
Could you want to be one of our vice presidents?
He obviously doesn't enjoy it.
Like, there's no way you can enjoy that.
Yeah.
There's something he enjoys about being around the game. He doesn't want to leave the game because every interview he does, he's just nobody. It's not like he's, hey, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Well, that's
he's always whining about something
that's
and complaining. That's what I'm saying. Like, what makes him happy? Surely it's going 16-47 isn't. I don't get it. But you look at their away record, right? Tom 6-26.
Yeah.
Look up Golden State's record on away up above it. 7-23.
Wow.
But they're in 5th.
Golden State is 27-7 at home, second most wins at home in the West, third least wins on the road in the West.
That's what we was talking about because remember we always had Golden State. Will they make it? Will they make it? But now they up to number 5.
And the Lakers,
and they can get 4.
The Lakers are 5 games back of having home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs, and they're sitting players.
Yeah. With LeBron out, Anthony Davis should be playing every game. Right?
Every game. Every game.
I don't.
It doesn't matter.
Get them.
It doesn't matter. Whatever.
Well, Phoenix, Durant's first game Wednesday was against the Charlotte Hornets, and that was a easy defeat. Like everyone, what game you want to come back, Tom? Charlotte Hornets.
Why not?
They're on the schedule.
10 out of 15.
Well, you know what? They managed his minutes. They managed his minutes, 27.
He played,
and he goes 10 of 15.
He played 27 minutes with 10 of 15, 23
Who's
points.
guarding me? LaMelo.
Nobody.
And Booker had 37.
Nobody.
Wow.
Right. So, again, Terry, this is, Chris Paul, 11 assists. That's too low.
And 2 points.
Yeah, that's too low.
2 points.
And 2 points.
He doesn't even have to show up now, Tom. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It is a point guard's dream. He shot 8 times.
Made 1 shot.
If he would have made 4 of them, he'd look like I almost
quit
had a
shooting.
double-double.
Chris Paul, quit shooting.
He didn't shoot a single free throw. He didn't even have to get to the line, Terry. Didn't even have to get to the line.
But he's
1
not
by 14.
because he's not attacking. He doesn't have to. You know, he's got people to pass it to.
Well, that might help them in the playoffs. He might not get hurt.
Can you imagine?
That's what I'm saying. It's helping him. I don't like Chris Paul at all, but it's the perfect situation for him and Durant both.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead,
Can
Terry.
you imagine if John Stockton was on this team? John Stockton would be saying, my average is going to be 18 assists a game.
Yeah.
But here's another case, though. Isn't it just weird, Terry, that Durant keeps ending up on teams with players that shoot more than him? Booker shot 11 more shots than he did.
Well, it's first game.
But again, I love Devin Booker's shot. If I'm taking top 5 shooters, like overall basketball guys, I want him. I've been telling you guys, I love his shot. Seeing it in person, it is just perfect. It is squared up, Terry. His shoulders, form, perfect, boom. I like it. 37 points. Yeah, I don't know. And then you got Ayton sitting there in the middle, 16 and 16.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. Next game, I didn't even look at the Bulls game. They said they beat them. 125, 104. We'll look at the box score on this one. Durant, 7 of 10.
10 shots.
He took 10 shots in 30 minutes, and they won by 21.
Oh. Plus 24 when they're in.
And Booker's loving it. Like,
So-
y'all got to guard him. I'm wide open.
Durant,
No more double teams.
Right,
That's it.
And while the reason with Steph Curry has been the difference, what he has been is league wise for one of the greats, and why he makes a difference on defense, Terry, and is not that other guys shoot just as good as percentage he does from 3, but he's shooting from 30-some feet.
Yeah.
And what that does is stretch that defense out so much. And what Durant's going to do on this team, him or Booker, you can't double team them both.
No.
And Durant shoots over everybody that's guarding him, so you got to make a choice on that. And then if you one person comes up, DeAndre Ayton should just eat in the middle, and maybe he will. He only had 7 points.
Yeah,
think about it here.
That's normal what he does. Good one game, bad next.
Yeah, Booker 50%, Durant 70%. You're not going to beat Phoenix when that happens.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
You're not going to beat that.
Chris Paul 10 assists. He's not trying too hard if he's only getting 10 assists.
And
What
11
if they're
points.
what if they're taking some of them away from because Durant or Booker taking it like a third or fourth dribble or something? You know what I
Could
mean?
be.
Just something silly.
And
like
he
that.
only played 29 minutes. That's really not, it's a lot of minutes, but it ain't like a ton.
All right. Let's see. I did have just talk about college basketball. Here's a pistol Pete Maravich stat. In 83 games over 3 years, he scored 3,667 points. If you took the nation's top 83 game scoring performances in the last 3 years, that means all the top 83 top games across college basketball, you'd still have less points than Pete Maravich did in those 3 years.
So did you see the other? You know why this has come up? Do you know why they showed this?
No.
There was a guy that about broke it. He missed it by 4 points.
Oh, it did.
Oh, yeah.
But you know how many years he played? 5.
Ain't that the guy from Detroit Mercy?
I think so.
I think
played
so.
for 5 years.
Yeah.
He had 2 more years.
Yeah.
They don't even count.
All right, the next one I wanted to show. I can't play this audio because it's Barkley talking about Jordan and Chuck Daly and them playing golf in the Olympics. And so they played 18 and they got ready. And there was Chuck Daly's like, all right, let's go home and rest. And Michael's like, no, I'm going to play 18 more. And Chuck's like, what? And he's like, I'll be good. So Michael comes, he plays 18 more and everybody else goes back. So this is him talking, Barkley talking. I'm going to read the words out for the radio and the folks because, like I said, Barkley tends to cuss. He said, we get the game. He said, David, you got this guy. Charles, you got this guy. Michael, you got this guy. And Michael says, no, I got the point guard. He's like, what? You don't want to guard the 2 guard? Michael's kind of like leaning down, looks up and says, I said I got the point guard. He talks some S about me in the newspaper, and I'm going to get him. And we're all looking around like, uh-oh, this little kid's in trouble. And the title of this is how I knew Michael was crazy. He said he's out here playing 36 holes, and now he's guarding this guy like it's game 7. And he's talking, don't you ever say a word about my name again. I'm like, yo, man, there's something wrong with this dude. And so this is when I knew Michael Jordan was crazy. Okay, so now the proof of that game, right? Here's somebody responded. Here's the guy he's talking about.
He looks like a rec league.
Looks like a 70s porn star.
Look, there's Jordan picking him up before half court.
Poor guy.
And then in the game, Tom, the guy went 0 for 2. 0 for 2.
So the guy said something about Jordan and make him mad.
Right. Jordan,
Okay.
the dude averaged 7 points and 2 assists in the Olympics. Jordan held him scoreless and 0 assists because he said something about Jordan.
So you don't know what he said?
No, we don't even know if he did say anything.
Oh, okay.
You don't even know if he did.
When you talk about stuff like that, it's so funny. Kevin Garnett was the same way.
Yeah.
He said something about it when he was a rookie coming up, and the people kept saying, "Don't say nothing to Michael." And he was like, "What do you mean, don't say nothing with Michael?" And he was like, "Okay, they played the first quarter, and he had held Michael, and he was lighting it up. Played the second quarter, and he said, this dude's not that good." So they come out for the third quarter, and he finally says something. Like, "Michael, you're not as good as what people think you are." And then that was it. Michael lit him up to third and the fourth quarter.
I've seen that video. All right, so here is any other comments, NBA, anything, guys, before we move on? No, nothing else. We done. I did have one more fun video for college basketball, NBA related. I want to make sure I got any other notes. I like trying to get all these out while we're talking about the actual sport. All right, this is the video of the week, Terry. Are you ready? Have you seen the highlights from the Louisville basketball game?
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, where'd he go? Maybe I haven't seen the highlights of the Louisville basketball game. Not here. During halftime, the Frisbee dog leaves a deposit.
That's awesome.
On the floor.
Probably what he thinks about their 2-win season this year.
You should have that gun.
Should have walked him before the performance.
That's it.
You got a 2-win season.
Always walk your dogs, folks, before you go inside or do anything.
You could have let him finish.
I know. I like, what's he doing?
Yeah,
But
too late
look,
now.
People are clapping like, "Hey,
Yeah, look, the second dropped. The second one dropped. But who went and cleaned it up? Did he go back out there?
He had to.
Or did
Surely
they have
God.
somebody? Surely one of the look that security guy turned around.
He's
like,
gone.
"I'm
He's
out."
like, I ain't
I
seeing
picked
that.
up.
Not me.
Poor guy.
Or I'm out.
Other dude.
He ain't seen it yet.
He had to
I have to drain myself first. You do not
I
understand.
ain't
There
catching,
wasn't no draining.
I ain't catching no Frisbee.
He was dropping it off over in the. He's got a good mid-range game, Terry. about 12 feet out.
The
The
guy would have
baseline
been
dumper.
better just to left him there.
Fido drops bombs from 12 feet out,
let
folks.
it
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
All right, folks. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. JP, did you see that? You
No,
didn't even
he
see
didn't.
it.
Yeah, I
We're-
saw it.
We're in here showing dogs. Never mind.
Yeah, I
We'll be
saw
back
it.
in a minute on KTCBroadcasting.com.
They are there when you need them. We're talking about Shelby Heating and Air, where their customers come first. No matter the weather or the temperature, they'll be there to make sure you're comfortable. Ask about their safety furnace checkup for $99. Plus, ask about their up to $750 in rebates on select products. That's Shelby Heating and Air. Call 704-487-7877. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. They are there when you need them.
Grizzly the Greeter says spring is the best time to buy a new building, greenhouse, or tiny home from Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes in Cherryville. This month, take up to 10% off metal buildings. Save 2 on greenhouses, just in time for spring planting. And be sure to take a look at their tiny homes and commercial buildings too. Stop paying rent. Get a tiny home commercial building at Blessed Building and Tiny Homes. Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right across from Ace Hardware. Online at blessedbuildings-tinyhomes.com. Like them on Facebook too. Not 1, not 2, but 3 big trucks with car carriers have back a brand new Volkswagens at Classic Volkswagens in Gastonia. All of your favorite Volkswagen models. Come in now and mention this radio ad and get your choice. Take either $1,000 off the price of your new Volkswagen or receive a $1,000 gift card. Either way, it's $1,000 in savings for you. Only at Classic Volkswagen of Gastonia, 4417 Wilkinson Boulevard. Online at classicvwgastonia.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Get the rest you deserve with a new mattress from Kurt's Premium Outlet in the Eastridge Mall in Gastonia. Right now, 8-inch queen and full-size mattresses are $199. And listen to this, just arrived king-size California pillow top mattresses for $199. And Kurt's has huge savings on bath vanities. Get closeout specials now, Plus, be sure to check the cleaning supplies with everyday specials, including toilet paper and paper towels. That's Kurt's Premium Outlet in East Ridge Mall on North New Hope Road in Gastonia. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook, too.
For the folks in Cherryville and Shelby, I'm sure you remember when the Western Steer was in your town, and we wish they were still here. But I've got good news. There's a Western Steer just a few minutes up the road in Newton. From Cherryville, hop on Highway 321 Business. And from Shelby, go Highway 18 to 10 to Newton. You get real comfort food, home-cooked style with down-home hospitality. Try their big unbeatable buffet or order from their menu. And they've got a party room for big groups. The Western Steer in Newton. 334 Southwest Boulevard in Newton at the Highway 10 and 321 Business intersection. Open Wednesday through Sunday.
Think of Keith's Customs in Cherryville for all of your car and truck restorations. Keith also does insurance work from start to finish. They can assure you of a just-like-new experience. Located on 150 next to Ferguson's Ace Hardware in Cherryville. Stop today and see the pros at Keith's Customs. Remember, there's no substitute for experience. Keith's Customs of Cherryville.
Thank you, Dan. And don't forget, Keith's Customs in Cherryville is now open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 10 to 6 on Saturday. That's Keith's Customs in Cherryville.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang, 704-487-7877. That's Shelby Heating and Air. Always sponsoring Saturday Morning Sports Talk. Yeah?
Food and trying to elude the hunters because you can't track a wet scent.
Hunting knobbies become quite a hobby. A few weeks ago, a Shelby County radio station staged a creature hunt on Carpenter's Knob.
We met off a rural paved road up there, and some 100 to 150 Upper Cleveland County residents turned out and were expecting to help us search for knobby. Now, at the little gathering, one of the Upper Cleveland County residents, Jerry Wayne Hudson, had written a song he wanted us to hear. So we'll let you take a listen to it.
Okay, I'll tell you what I sing. I'm going to try to sing it to you in the song just like I'm going to make it up and try to sing it to you in the song just like I sing it.
Freestyle, Tom.
Well, I was standing on old Nobby, looking down over old Kaiser Town. I seen something, baby, that'll make you all go around, and it looked like, I'm telling you the truth, too, I believe you, it looked like a bluer to me.
Maggie, what'd you find up there besides a musician? Well, John,
what do you think about that caterpillar, Tom?
Interesting, I thought.
What do you think about caterpillar on Calvin's upper lip there?
Break this one off and bring it back.
Everybody had one of those back then. That was a popular look back in the 80s. Yeah.
You didn't know WOHS did a Bigfoot hunt, did you?
I did not.
You want to be a part of the next one?
No,
all right.
I do not.
You're lost. JP, would you be a part of the next WHS Nobby hunt?
Sure.
Sure, he's in it. All right. There you go.
Just want to make sure one more time, 704-487-7877 for Shelby Heating and Air. For all your heating and air needs, give them a call. Thanks for sponsoring Saturday Morning Sports Talk, Kevin.
All right. NFL Combine invites by school. I'm going to pull something else interesting up. Would you guys care to take a guess at the top? Let's go top 8 schools.
Alabama? Oh, you talking about
invited to the combine?
The top 8 schools.
South Carolina.
With a team with players invited to the combine. The top 8 schools all had 8 invites to the combine. South Carolina only had 5. So they're in the top 20, Terry. Top 8. Now, if it's any hint to you, can you remember the top 8 final AP top 25? Because if you can, it's pretty much that, word for word almost. Georgia's in there. TCU is in there, number 2. Michigan's in there, number 3. Ohio State's in there, number 4. Alabama's number 5. Tennessee, number 6, did not make the final cut, or Penn State, number 7, but they had 7 invites, so they're right outside the top. Who's next? Washington. They're not in there. So the other ones were Clemson, LSU, and Florida were the other 3 teams. They're LSU, of course, 16th, Clemson 13th, Florida
unranked.
You got some bad coaching going on down there and good recruiting. Looking at that, just the invites across the board, you top 8 teams. You're playing Alabama, Tom. They got 13 invites to the draft. They got 13 NFL players on their roster. Georgia had 12, the second most. Florida, LSU, TCU, and Michigan had 9. Ohio State and Clemson tied with 8 invites. 7 invites, Maryland, Oklahoma, Penn State, Tennessee. 6 invites, Auburn, Cincinnati, Oregon, Pittsburgh. NC State had 2. Carolina had 4. So all this Mac Brown stuff and all this, we had 4 invites to the NFL. 1 invite from some of these teams. Let's see if App's. I thought App had 2 invites, so same number as State. Terry, y'all doing some bad recruiting over there. And Coastal Carolina. Good grief, what are y'all doing? All those players should be with y'all.
Coastal changed coaches, though, didn't they? Where'd their coach go?
Times. Virginia's got 2. Wake Forest got 2. So there's just a kind of little insight on that. Said the kid from Georgia's been killing it down there in the combine. And then the other guy, of course, is I don't know how that's going to affect him. The court cases and everything. Have you seen anything up to that on Tom or anything? This Georgia lineman.
I did not. I did see where Detroit head coach said, "I don't go down there and watch people practice in pajamas. I watch the game."
Dan Campbell.
It's one of those. It's one of those things where, if you can run and jump, I mean, it does make a difference. But what do you do with the pads on? I mean, I can see that philosophy. Let's see what he does on the field, because some guys who aren't the fastest.
Game speed.
If I remember right, they said Jerry Rice wasn't exactly the fastest.
I want to say he
guy,
did like a 4.6 or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he was just. I mean, you can be really good and not have all those. Best jumper, the best.
I'm glad
runner.
you said that. So I want. That's one thing I'd like to explain to some of the youthful generation out there is size, height, weight, speed does not equate best or greatest ever. Like Terry
know how to play the game.
Terry, was Emmitt Smith a 10 at anything?
No,
but he was a 9 or 9.5 at everything, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Michael is not the best dunker. Michael is not the best shooter. He's not the best passer.
Pretty
might
good
be able to argue he's the best defender, but he's 9.5 at everything. And that's some of these things these kids don't get to. So the Jerry Rices, Randy Moss probably outrun everybody, right?
I'll jump them too.
Michael Irvin wasn't that fast.
If I'm going to throw a pass to someone to catch, I know they're going to catch it. Chris Carter might be the one I pick as opposed to Jerry Rice or Randy Moss. It's definitely not going to be T.O., but if I throw a slant to somebody I need to break a tackle or two, T.O.'s the guy I'm throwing it to. So they each are so good at something. Rice, T.O., and Moss are so different at everything. And then, Terry, you'll have some people to say, one game we're going to the playoffs, I'm taking Michael Irvin because his route running, how hard he's T.O. without, he's not as, I don't think he was muscular, but he played like T.O. did. But he could catch better than T.O.
Better hands.
But he didn't have a long career like these guys.
T.O. might blow up on the sideline.
Well, Michael might too, but
not like T.O.
Yeah, Michael did it for the team. T.O. did it for himself.
Yes.
But it just each one's got different reasons for different. I don't know, the measuring the guys, like you just guys said. That one team was bragging about a lineman or somebody benching or squatting 5 something. Larry Allen benched 730. None of these squat things. If you say I'm squatting something and it don't start with 700, I hate to be not impressed, Terry, but I saw a man bench 700 pounds.
And then it had somebody getting the top 5 all time on the 40-yard dash, and when you look at the top that they've registered since 2000, the only one I recognized on there was Chris Johnson.
Yeah, he's the only one to really. Here's John Ross, Kalen Barnes, Chris Johnson, Dree Archer, Jerome Mathis, Tariq Woolen, and DJ Turner.
I have no clue who those other guys are.
4.22 to 4.26. So those are the speeds on those. These quarterbacks, I guess we'll talk about this for a minute. If you're Zach, you're at 9. What do you want, Panthers?
I just don't want a quarterback that low. I just don't. I pick best available. That's just what I'm going to do. whatever's available at that time. I don't care where he plays. I don't care what position he plays.
Okay. Well, this CBS late. We'll look at this one. We can always pick a different one because they're all different. The CBS Sports mock draft has Bryce Young going 1. You guys have seen these guys more than I have. They got Ohio State quarterback C.J. Stroud going 2nd.
He came out and said that he did not want to go to the Bears because that was Justin Fields' team. I don't know if y'all saw that or not.
Will Levis is 6. Sorry, you guys are 6, not 9th, Zach. No, this is mock trade from Detroit. So, yes, you are not. Jeez. We're doing mock trades.
Yeah, that's stupid. That's why I quit looking at those.
Anyways, got you guys going Levis at quarterback. I've been saying from the start of seeing these things and watching him throw and stuff, I would like, if I was drafting a guy because of the 50-50 shot, I would go with him more than anybody.
He's a big guy.
Big arm, big hands, big. Just everything's big kid to throw the ball. I like seeing him throw. Anthony Richardson is a wild card at Florida, sophomore. Terry, have you seen him play, or Tom? Any thoughts on him?
He's coming out as a sophomore.
Yeah, that's why I think he's too young. I think it's a bad decision.
Big kid compares himself to a mix of calls himself Cam Jackson, he says. So he's a mix of Lamar Jackson and Cam Newton.
Whatever.
He's from Florida. They got him at the 7th overall pick. A lot of teams are
so we're back to quarterbacks this year.
He's the one winning the.
And there's nobody that's really like that elite. I can't do it. I can't spin that pick.
He's the one winning the workout boards.
I cannot spend that pick when Garoppolo and some of these other ones are left out there for me to go get.
Garoppolo can't stay healthy.
Well, I don't care. I'm going to go with that guy who's a veteran.
What do you mean you don't care if he can stay healthy?
Well, that's not what I'm doing, Tom. You know what I'm
saying. I think I'd rather take best available.
Go pick up
a 4th quarterback.
Well, Zach, you guys have talked to both.
Depends on your situation.
Zach, I've talked to representatives of both. When I'm talking to Zach, I'm talking about Panthers folks. Mm-hmm. Panthers have talked to representatives of both Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr. So I don't know if they might if they're willing to talk to them. I don't think they're looking at drafting a quarterback in the 1st round.
And the question is this: if they talk to Aaron Rodgers, is that number 1 pick in play?
Absolutely.
Because there was some people on there that were saying, hey, they're not going to get a number 1 for Aaron Rodgers. I would give it up. I mean, he's 39. Could he play till he's 43? Yeah, I'd give 4 years. We can pick a scrub here.
I just don't think the Panthers. Do you think your team's in position to get Aaron Rodgers and then just?
If he looks at the division, that's you hit my point. I think if he looks at the division, he can rule it just like he ruled NFC North for so many years.
You think Aaron Rodgers would come to the Carolina?
That's what I said.
He wouldn't for in a cold day and whatever. But I'm just saying.
Well, you think he would go to the Jets instead?
Yes.
Really?
It's a bigger market.
But gosh, man, they got so much black eyes that they just never been good.
They got some receivers. Garrett Wilson, for example, from
it's
Ohio
like they're
State.
It's like they're the Giants B team or something. No,
hold on. Well, if you don't go quarterback, what do you think the most pressing need is for the team?
Well, our offensive line did really well last year. Our defense is good.
I know where I'd go, but you go ahead.
Can never have enough offensive linemen. I don't
care. I'm still going to go best available, whatever's there.
Or defensive.
We need a quarterback.
This mock draft has you moving up to 3 to pick the Florida quarterback.
I can't do that, man. He's a sophomore. Steve Smith said quarterbacks are not going to come out now ready anymore. It's just not going to happen. They're not ready.
Too complicated. Back in the 80s when you had 2 running backs and you ran at least 50% of the time.
There is a rumor that I lost his name. Tennessee running back. What's his name?
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry could be possibly coming to the Panthers.
So this has got a projected trade of the Panthers moving up to 1. Every mock trade I've picked on has the Panthers moving up from 9.
We don't have the draft capital to do that.
And now it's got you going up to 1.
We can't
to pick Bryce Young. I just Terry, any of these quarterbacks you'd be picking right now, or would you be looking at Will Anderson?
I wouldn't. I've already told you what I would do. I mean, I would either go after Aaron Rodgers, somebody that's out there available for me. There's no way I would jump in here and pick one of these quarterbacks. I mean, I just wouldn't do it. First thing I would do with my top pick is I would go after one of them guys, and my first pick would be one heck of a wide receiver.
Or even a really great tight end, but there might not be one in there.
Or Will Anderson from Alabama is the top non-quarterback on the list, and Carter from Alabama, the one that was involved in the racing incident that he was arrested for this past week. Tyree Wilson and Christian Gonzalez, edge rushers and defensive backs. So Gonzalez, the best defensive back from Oregon, up at 7. If you get a top 10 cornerback, I don't see why you wouldn't pick that.
Corners are a premium.
Because if we can if we can get J.C. Horn healthy and put somebody back there with him, you're shutting down. And the quarterbacks in NFC South are horrible now.
Cowboys got a first-round pick, Terry?
Yeah, they do. It's on down there.
It just seems like if I can get a stud corner, a stud defensive end, or a stud offensive lineman, that's who I would go with. And then the fourth would be a wide receiver.
We do need another wide receiver. I'm 100% with that.
Well,
is that the top one?
This one's got no. I would doubt it.
No,
Quentin Johnson from TCU. It says Mike McCarthy is reportedly he wants to call the plays now, Terry. So is that once the coach starts calling plays, that means he's about to be fired if they don't win, right?
It should be. But now they keep talking about Dak's interceptions, and like when he took over for Aaron Rodgers had a lot of interceptions, and when he took over, Mike McCarthy's going to try to do this now, and his interception rates come down over half. So, if he can take Dak and take his down to over half, Dallas is going to be pretty good.
About this offensive lineman, Tom from Ohio State, Paris Johnson Jr., they got him 6'6", 310 at the 13th spot.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Got the size. That's what stands out about him. When you're 6'6", 310, you're going to be on somebody's draft board if you could move your feet at all.
Terry, that wide receiver was the 3rd on the board. Josh Downs, Carolina's receiver, 5'10", is listed at number 2 on the board. I don't know about that.
He can play. I
know he can play.
I don't like 5'8" wide receivers.
You gonna pick him 15th in the draft?
175 pounds too, man. That's little.
I pick him second round, maybe third
second
round.
or third. Yeah, there you go.
I'm not picking a 5'10" wide receiver, top 15. And Tom, our first draft pick is Deshaun Watson this year.
It's terrible.
And next year, and the next, and the next,
terrible.
Tom.
Do they not have one next year either?
I'm just saying that's probably what they are.
Oh no, they've Herschel Walkered their franchise. They're it's a sad thing too because they got some good players that could have made a run. If you wanted a veteran, you could have got like this year. You could have got a Derek Carr. Things could have played out different. I mean, it might have been too toxic in that locker room to deal with Baker another year. I understand that. It's fine. Let him walk, but you can't trade him away that much draft capital for a guy who didn't play in 2 years. And he may come back and be elite. I don't know. I mean, it's just, Kevin always calls me the consummate pessimist. And I guess I am on this one, but you gave 3 first and paid this guy more than anybody in there. And what's that do to your salary cap?
The guarantee thing is the problem. Is because
it's just
the guarantee. Tom, the guarantees thing's the problem because you can't get out of it if something goes bad.
Right.
So if he gets hurt or something, you're stuck with it, and you don't have a draft pick. But
it's a nightmare.
If he plays well, it's not going to matter. That's basically what you're hoping. We're hoping between him and Nick Chubb, they plays well, draft defense. They need a stud receiver, I think. Who's their best receiver right now?
Oh, if you hadn't asked me, I could tell you.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you talking about the Browns?
Yeah.
Is it Cooper?
I mean,
Amari Cooper's out there, but he don't play away games.
People Jones is pretty good. Cooper's played good. Peoples Jones was pretty good.
He did that in Dallas. Why is that?
He did the same thing.
It's the weirdest thing.
Like they drafted David Bell. He didn't do a whole lot. Anthony Schwartz doesn't do a whole lot.
You think he don't like sleeping in hotels or something like that?
I don't know.
There's something he doesn't like. Maybe he don't have all the same number of girlfriends at home. I don't know.
And they got Njoku, the tight end, too.
This one's got Zach. This one's got you guys just staying at 9 and getting Levis from Kentucky.
I'm good with staying at 9. If Levis falls to us, I would not hurt my feelings to pick him. But I'm gonna ask a question for you guys.
The third best quarterback.
I know, and it's what I want to ask about.
I think he's the best.
Think about this.
Who do you think's the best quarterback, Terry?
Out of this group?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Ohio State. Yeah. I mean, I hate to say that, but I know that he's not going to be elite. But I think he's better. It's a different. I think he's better than this kid.
They've been running a different offense. I mean, I know Urban Meyer's offense. Not really. I guess you could argue that
he did like to run the quarterback a lot. That's why I liked a guy like J.T. Barrett. And, J.T. Barrett tries to play pro and he can't, because he's just too, a lot of quarterback power, quarterback sweep.
Do you know?
Same thing with Tebow, but I think Stroud is definitely.
So you're talking about these going third, fourth, fifth quarterback in the top 10. We picked Matt Corral. We traded up for Matt Corral last year.
Right.
What you want to waste a draft? You just want to waste a draft
in the third
pick?
round, right? So is he?
Yeah, but what are you
Why
doing
do we
now?
do that for? You know what I'm saying?
He was a third round pick, though, right?
Yeah, and we traded up for him. Just wait on him.
But people throw those away all the time.
Yeah,
third, fourth rounders.
You are waiting every year to go pick a quarterback. Y'all in trouble. You're doing the same thing Cleveland did.
Yeah,
and
it's a recipe for disaster.
I
think we picked very good. Our defense is what it is because remember about 2 years ago, Kevin, he picked all defense.
Right. We've been saying that for years.
And that's great. I think he did awesome on
If you pick all defense 1 year, or if you pick all defense 2 years in a row, you're going to have a good team in 3 years, and then you can fill in your spots that you could pay your tight end, or you can pay your wide receiver, you pay whatever. If you got a low paid quarterback, and what you just saying right there. So this is Levis's weaknesses. Obviously, always
has no feel of a passer in the pocket.
Basically, he gets
sacked. Josh Allen.
Basically, he gets sacked a lot, and he does bad in the
when he came out.
Getting tackles, got big arm. So you like what you said. I mean, you read the upsides. I mean,
who are they talking about?
This is the Kentucky kid.
The Kentucky kid. Okay.
Big arm, throws a catchable ball. That is the most important thing, I think, as someone who's actually thrown one. And this is why. Cam Newton, this is what the Florida quarterback said yesterday. I'm going to throw it as hard as I can. It's their job to catch it. That's not how it goes. I'm just telling you, as for playing wide receiver, for playing quarterback, you have to throw a catchable ball. Yes, you have to throw it hard and put it in spots sometimes. And yes, they do have to catch it. But if he goes out there like that, Terry, he's going to Cam Newton balls right over the wide receiver's head. Yeah. That's exactly what Cam was doing. He's throwing as hard as he could when they got open. That's someone who throws it when someone gets open, not throwing someone to get them open. Catchable ball. Makes so much difference. Let's go down. We saw the positives and negatives. Let's look at your Florida quarterback there real quick. I don't know where they got him. No, let's look at C.J. Stroud. I don't know. This will be a fake report in a second. Accurate passer.
He's the same way. Those are very catchable balls.
Every one of those are. I like that. As long as it says that's important. If they're listed that. All right. Weaknesses. Not a running threat.
He can run better. He just chooses not.
Does not make a lot of plays off script. Not a vocal leader, and it doesn't say from Ohio State.
The problem with this is it's not a running threat. Sometimes that's a great thing. That means he's going to last.
I'd rather have Dante Culpepper than.
But he. If you watch the end of the Georgia game, he can if he wants to, but he's already that pro level. You don't do that at the pro level.
Who cares?
That's it.
I don't care.
Yeah, you don't need a running quarterback.
You can't now. If it's 3rd and 7. And they don't spy him, he's going to get that. I don't know why it says that. I mean, he runs well enough to get those. Now, is he Michael Vick? No. But he's got pretty good mobility. I think people that say that haven't really paid attention to his athletic ability.
I need you to be able to throw a slant and throw a comebacker in traffic. Those are the two most important throws that you have to throw in traffic. Those little button hooks and everything, all those quarterbacks do the same thing against the zones. All these quarterbacks can throw it 60, 70 yards deep. You got to be able to throw a slant in traffic. You got to be able to throw the comebackers and the out routes without those getting picked, because those are the ones you got to complete. And those are the ones that when it says catchable ball and then the dodo from Florida, I'm going to throw it real hard. Okay, good job. Go play baseball. What are you talking about? All right. Any other thoughts on the draft and everything?
No, I won't. I won't be watching. I don't have anything to watch until day 3.
Second round, third.
Yeah, third round. I mean, we don't even have a third. I don't even think we have a 3rd round pick. I have to double check.
For how many years?
Maybe we have a 3rd round. We don't. I don't think we have 1s or 2s.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, whatever.
Let me see for each team. Before you get all over, start slitting wrist.
No, I'm not. I mean, it's just, it is what it is, man.
Tom Brady comes late.
It's a factory of sadness.
It does.
It's what it is. It's a factory of sadness.
Purdy.
Yeah.
Factory of sadness.
Kevin, look it up. Just Google Factory of Sadness. It's a Cleveland Browns blog.
Oh,
Factory of
goodness.
Sadness.
I'm sure.
I mean, this is after a while. Come on, guys.
All right, so Cleveland has I clicked on the stupid moving ad. They got me. Read more. All right. Cleveland is not alphabetical order. Cleveland Browns. Round 2. 2 fourth rounders, a fifth, a sixth, and a seventh, Tom.
There you go, Tom.
So they have what? Say that one more time.
Second round.
1 round 2 pick.
1 round 2 pick.
2 fours, a 5, a 6, and 7.
So it's a third round they don't have.
So they only have 1 draft pick.
In the top 3.
Yeah.
It's a second round draft pick.
Whatever.
They better trade Kareem Hunt, or is he a free agent?
I want to say he's a free agent.
I think he is.
They're going to let him walk. They're going to let John Johnson walk. They're going to do some things because they're paying Deshaun Watson stupid money. So you don't have money for other positions. So I'm telling you better go out and score 40 points a game because you're going to run out of money. But whatever.
Bryce Young measured at 5'10" and 1/8. 1/8. What is that? His hair?
That's to make him feel better.
5'10".
I don't like. I'm gonna say it, guys. I don't like the small quarterbacks.
I don't know the hand size. I just need you to be able to grip the bat. Grip the football.
The one that was shorter was Drew Brees, and he was 6 foot.
He's right at 6. He's taller. He stood beside Bryce.
And we all know that he had to look over. How he had to get back and look over that line. Remember how he'd have to look over the line, to throw the ball.
I got a question while we're measuring stuff here and talking about height of the quarterbacks. Why do we measure? And this is just a silly question. Why don't we measure to eye height instead of head height? Peyton Manning's got at least 3 extra inches on Drew Brees just because of his forehead. But his eye height is only like an inch above it. Like when you look at them standing beside each other, his eyes are like this to this. But when they get to the foreheads, it's like this to this. And so Peyton Manning's 6'4". I swear, I'm promised. Why don't we measure the eye? Because if we're measuring height, that's what we're really worried about. Because they say, can he see?
Yeah.
Well, I don't see from the top of my head. So how high is it to your eyeball?
Now he's picking on the bald guys. Kevin,
I don't know where that came from. The bald guys.
He's talking about Peyton not having a hairline going back.
You're just a heartless person.
I didn't say nothing about his hairline. He looks like Frankenstein.
Terry.
His forehead's like 6 inches long.
He's just talking about a guy. I'm not talking about just your hair's falling out. You just got a big forehead.
I never said anything about his hair.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Kevin. Every bald guy in America just got a little bit more insecure because of you. Thanks a lot.
There's plenty of ways to fix that. All right, Tom. All right, Tom. You're telling me.
Yeah, because usually you got hair down to there.
You're telling me that he don't get an extra 2 inches of forehead height.
Terry ain't got no hair, and his forehead ain't that big.
On his scouting report. Right. Terry's forehead's nowhere near this big. Look at that. Honest to goodness, his eyes to his chin are the same from his eyes to his forehead right there. And all right,
Man.
so let's draw up.
Can you imagine how his hat looks with one of them big wide hats on top of his head if he had one of them?
Trucker hat.
He can't wear hats, can he?
Well, Lord.
All right, then.
Oh, man.
2 foot wide.
So, Drew Brees isn't like, got a full coif here, but look how smaller his forehead is compared to Peyton.
I know he got a pretty big forehead too.
Tom!
Oh, man.
That's a pretty big forehead for Drew Brees.
Tom.
Okay.
If you think.
I didn't say it was bigger. I said it was pretty big. That's all I said. Both guys have the male pattern baldness going on.
Put your fingers up here, Zach. Right.
Oh, man.
Put your fingers up here like that, Zach, for a second.
Me?
Yeah, measure his forehead and don't move your fingers. Let's see. Let's go to Peyton.
They're measuring on. How do you even know what the scale of the picture is?
I'm matching them up, Tom.
For Peyton Manning.
For Peyton. I'm not the first one that's ever pointed out. I'm just saying, in general, though, but aren't that what we measure to, though, for real? Is that how far you can see over someone's head? So the tighter your forehead and your helmet, none of that. You don't measure cleats, none of that. We always say in basketball, without their socks on, without their shoes on, and we measure like that. So I think we should measure to eye height instead of head height. That's my PSA of the day.
Okay, then.
All right, coming up in baseball news, the Braves put out their giveaways this year. Got some fun giveaways this year. Before we go to break, I want to list some of these. My favorite one on here in a minute, I'll get to it, but that's just an awesome one. Let's see. April, Napa cap. April 11th, blooper bobblehead. The first non-players Braves bobblehead, it says. Fred McGriff, you can get a Hall of Fame Fred McGriff bobblehead August 1st. Ron Gant.
One of my favorite players.
The 1993 press box fire. It's got a picture of Gant in front of the press box fire. I thought that was Crime Dog McGriff that set the fire. But Ron Gant bobblehead there. An A.J. Minter Cowboy bobblehead, September 26th. Spencer Strider bobblehead, September 29th. Ronald Acuna bat flip bobblehead will be September 19th for those. Now, Tom, they're also giving away gold chains at the games because the players wearing the gold chain. Terry, you can get your Ozzie Albies gold chain on May 10th. Ronald Acuna gold chains are June 27th.
I want that one.
And Spencer Strider gold chains are July 18th. Let's see.
Always helps you with head first slides.
I always get hit in the face by it. A couple of other ones. Let's see. Coca-Cola ones. But the best one of them all, and I was trying to pull it up on the internet if I could, but Outcast is doing a bobblehead night. And that the rap group folks, they're from Atlanta. And I think this may be the coolest bobblehead ever. Once I clicked it up, where'd he go? There he is. Open image. Oh, that didn't do it. Maybe this one will do it. Zach. Closest I can get is this one. Andre 3000 and Big Boy wearing Braves outfit, sitting in a convertible Cadillac, red Cadillac in a Braves. That is the one I want, Terry. If somebody can get me that one, if you're going to a Braves game, if you're going to Outcast, May 25th, I want the Outcast bobblehead. We want to have it right here in the studios, and that'll be the showcase, our Atlanta Braves showcase bobblehead. You like that, Terry? That's pretty cool.
That's pretty neat.
All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. KDCBroadcasting.com.
They are there when you need them. We're talking about Shelby Heating and Air, where their customers come first. No matter the weather or the temperature, they'll be there to make sure you're comfortable. Ask about their safety furnace checkup for $99. Plus, ask about their up to $750 in rebates on select products. That's Shelby Heating and Air. Call 704-487-7877. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. They are there when you need them.
It's time to go picking at Gaston Pickers in Gastonia. They are now open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 6 p.m., Sunday afternoons from 1 to 5. Come check it all out. 28,000 square feet of vendors with antiques, collectibles, furniture, and more. And vendor space is available by calling 704-852-7055. Check out some of the booths at whatsupshopper.com and online at gastonpickers.net. Like them on Facebook too. Gaston Pickers, 503 Long Avenue in Gastonia, or exit 19 off I-85. Congratulations to Gaston Pickers, celebrating 10 years of business.
Keep it clean with a stop at This and That Trading Post in Dallas. Outdoor Clorox is $5.50 a gallon. Get 48 Sparkle paper towels for $24 a box. Also this week, a nice Glands refrigerator freezer combo for $125. You'll find cap lights for $425. Suction cup dent pullers are $450. Wireless cat ear headphones are $7. A 180 load box of Gain detergent is $12.50. And frozen table and 2 chairs for $24. At This and That Trading Post, 3857 Dallas High Shoals Road in Dallas. Like them on Facebook too. Tax time deals are waiting for you at Cars, Trucks, and Credit in Lincoln. Bring in your tax check and drive away in your new-to-you car, truck, or SUV. Just arrived on the lot, a 2006 Hyundai Tucson at $12.99 down, a 2009 Honda Accord at $17.99 down, and a 2008 Buick Lucerne at $14.99 down. Shop online at ctcautosports.com and see their page at whatsupshopper.com. That's Cars, Trucks, and Credit, 604 Clark Drive in Lincoln.
Since 1995, Carolina Furniture Mart on North Aspen Street in Lincoln has been serving this area with the finest in home furnishings for every room of your house. With over 80,000 square feet of shopping, we're sure you'll find something you'll love for your home. Bedrooms, living rooms, dens, dining, plus a huge mattress and recliner gallery. Shop local, shop hometown, shop Carolina Furniture Mart, 644 North Aspen Street in Lincoln, online at carolinafurnituremart.com. See the page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. Get ready for the big game with a stop in at the Woodbridge Handy Mart. Start the day off with one of their big breakfast biscuits. At lunch, nothing beats their Hunt Brothers Pizza and Wings and sandwiches too. Enjoy a soft drink, slushie, cup of coffee, or cappuccino. And they carry ethanol-free, 90-octane unleaded gasoline blend designed for use in recreational and marine engines. The Woodbridge Handy Mart, 987 Stony Point Road near the Woodbridge Golf Course, open 7 days a week.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back. One local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time.
Shop local with whatsupshopper.com, Carolina Country, and The Boss.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk. I was a little behind on that one. But, as always, 704-487-7877. Shelby Heating and Air for all your heating and air needs.
That's right, Shelby Heating and Air. One more time, 704-487-7877. Online, shelbyheating.com. Kevin.
Talking baseball. This is, for you folks that aren't listening on the radio, I'm showing a picture of some spring training here. This is the Red Sox and no, it says Baltimore. No,
so
Red
they
Sox
pulled the
Twins.
outfielder over there.
Yeah, the left fielder.
Red Sox and Twins. So the rule of Major League Baseball, just because they're just no fun, says no shifting, so you can't make a guy hit the opposite field. So the rule is you have to have two infielders on both sides of second base. Before this, Tom and Terry, am I correct? There was no rules about where anyone had to stand on defense. Besides pitcher and catcher, obviously.
No, you have to be on the field. Everybody has to have at least
in
1
fair
foot.
territory?
Yeah, you have to have 1 foot in fair territory.
So besides that, you could put all of your 7 other defenders down the left field line, straddling the line if you wanted to, right?
You could.
Right. So for some reason, after 200 years of baseball, we decided to change this rule, and because the guys couldn't hit, and now they took away the shift, and the rule is you have to have 2 players on the infield and on both sides of the infield. So now you're restricting 4 players to the infield. You can't even have 4 players in the outfield now. So they couldn't. They couldn't go 3 and 4 if they wanted to. So I don't know why that would be. It's just every rule people don't think of the consequences going next. So what the Twins did, the Red Sox did against Gallo, they moved the right fielder in to that spot, pinched the middle with the middle infielders, backed the third baseman up to the edge of to the outfield in between short and third, basically. Center fielder moved to right, and the left fielder moved to center. So for you folks at home, there's nobody standing in left field, basically. If you were just doing it simply, they would just move the left fielder over there in that spot, but the right, this is what they do. They put the 2 fastest outfielders deep.
That's baseball. They're always trying to figure out how to cheat the rule. If you make a rule in baseball, they figure out how can we cheat the rules.
It shouldn't even be a rule. So now the umpires have to worry about guys stepping in the outfield and doing this and that. It's just one more thing that y'all shouldn't have to ever have to worry about.
I would say I don't mind the pitch clock. I don't mind the limiting throws to first base, but you should be able to put. Football. What are you going to tell a team? Y'all can't have a dime package. That's too many defensive backs.
Right.
We don't see enough balls being caught, so you can only run 4 defensive backs.
2 things.
That's kind of stupid.
2 things I want to bring up about that. You talk about the pitch count. They got the other day. The pitcher didn't get the pitch off in time. Play went. They got the end of the inning,
right,
and then 8 runs scored because they pulled it back. 8 runs.
Was that the double play ball?
I believe it was.
Okay, yeah, I saw that. What about the one that ended the game? Now you're going to see games that end on a pitch clock, Tom.
That's fine. You know the rules.
You know the rule.
Oh, my God.
Keep the game moving.
That's not what I asked y'all. I said, do you like the rule?
I just got to tell you.
I like the rule because it keeps the game moving. I like any rule that keeps the game moving.
I do.
I don't like rules that take away tactics. See, it's different. With the shift, you're taking away a tactic.
Now, I do. That's the second thing I want to bring up. We was talking to some kids at the youth Wednesday night because they're baseball players and stuff like that. We was telling them about bats and stuff like that. But me and Kevin was talking about this. Was like if they shifted on Tony Gwynn like that, they would pay dearly. Like, do our guys, our MLB guys, are they not as talented? Putting the ball in play, they're just swinging away. Can they not?
Because there's so much emphasis on hit it as far as you can. That's why. How many teams play small ball anymore, Zach? How many teams walk a guy, bunt him over?
I
they
put up
just
that
don't.
Stat last week. Was it 14 teams now struck out so many times?
Yeah, it's not as.
It's
not they don't do the small ball anymore. It's all about hit it as far as you can.
Yeah.
And, you could tell by the way the guys swing in high school. They're not swinging to get base hits. They swing as hard as they can on every pitch.
And that also brings up, we was talking about bat lengths and stuff like that with these kids because the both of them, had their 32s and they're 5'4", Kevin, swinging a 32-inch bat. And we was telling them, hey, don't do that. Trying to give them a little bit of advice, get a 29, get a 30 where you can get it around.
Yes.
Yeah. But they're seeing these guys and they're trying to mimic these guys. And we was having a good conversation about small ball and stuff like that. Now nobody wants to play it anymore. And it's sad. To me, it's sad. I like small ball. So
the average fan doesn't. They want to see home runs.
The pitch clock, I'm just mixed on it. I guess I got to see it more. The issue I have is ending a game that way. I don't know the solution or anything, or whatever. I don't know the way it happened.
But you know the rules.
I get that, Terry. Thank you.
Yeah. What is it? Two.
Every one of those pitchers has
two throws to first base.
Rosenbag.
Two throws.
Every one of those pitchers has pine tar on their waistband, and Terry's like, the
also brung up on Wednesday night was having a little baseball talk. Could you imagine Ricky Henderson after the pitchers done threw it twice? And they made the bases bigger.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
guess what, guys? I'm gone.
Don't
worry.
I might steal 2 bases on you now.
He did.
I love it. Good. I love it. I mean, don't waste your time throwing over there.
Right.
Yeah. I've seen him throw over there 5, 6, 7 times.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just even my mom will watch baseball. She'll watch the Indians on the Major League Baseball Network, and she'll I like watching the game until somebody gets on first and they keep throwing on,
And what happens,
she'll get
Tom?
More, she'll get more.
As well as
the
I
flow
do.
of the game is disrupted.
But what happens? Everybody in the crowd is booing.
Yeah,
come on, man, quit throwing over here.
He's fast. Deal with it. You know what I mean? He's fast. Don't let him on base. It's just stupid. I could see over there throwing once, throwing twice. You're throwing over there 7 times, 8 times. Yeah, this is kind of stupid. Whatever.
You're making a mockery.
I think 2 is a little low. I do think 2's low.
You throw once, you telling the guy, look, I know you're there. I understand. I got one more. If you go too far, then I'm going to throw it again. But after you do it that time, then everything's for him.
Yeah, he's green light
for him. And that's where a pitcher's got to know that.
What about this? I'm just kind of going out on a limb. After 2 or 3, I'd rather have 3. But anyway, say it's 2, how about everyone after that? Like, how do you penalize that? Or if they did throw it, would you? I guess they call it ball
to the batter.
Right. That's what I was about to say. Base. If you throw it over there more than twice, how about just give a ball to the batter and then you still throw it over there? I don't know. It's like Zach said. How do you stop Ricky Henderson? The guys don't care anymore.
No, they
don't care. I guess it don't even matter.
They don't.
You know what? I'm okay with that because, all right, whether you throw it to home or throw it to first, the game progresses. Okay, well, a ball is charged to the.
There's no rule. There's no rule on how many pitch outs you can throw, is there?
No. You can throw as many as you want. You can.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I was watching
because it'd be ball 4.
I was watching a video, and you talk about player position on the field in the catcher's box. Because the old rule is you had to throw it out and you had to make sure the catcher by rule was supposed to stay in the box. And now they say, well, you don't do that anymore. You just put him on. Even in pro ball, you just put him on. So they basically said, don't worry about that rule.
Right.
Yeah.
But now, how do you have that rule and then you have pitch count rules? Yeah. So if I can intentionally walk somebody and we're doing pitch counts, every good batter I face, I'm walking. I'm not wasting 4 or 5 pitches that he might hit a double off the wall and then I might walk him anyway. Yeah, those are just baseball is just killing itself. These stupid little big rules. All right, as far as the time though, I guess you do like that. It has reduced games by about 20 minutes, 20-some minutes.
Yeah.
Now here's Tom. We were talking last week. The average NFL game length is 3 hours and 12 minutes. The average ball and play time, 18 minutes.
Yeah, it's too long.
It is.
The average Major League Baseball game is 3 hours and 3 minutes. 9 minutes shorter than an NFL game, guys. This is before this year.
And plus you have halftime in NFL. You don't have it in baseball.
And action time in Major League Baseball, 18 minutes. So they both have a 3-hour broadcast with 18 minutes of action. And people consistently complain about baseball taking too long. And nobody complains about football taking too long. Well, a lot I do, but some people.
A lot of it.
But see what I'm
Football,
saying? Like,
especially
this
college, is ridiculous.
Right,
College is ridiculous.
Yeah. But this is this is an example of perception of how the reality is that baseball actually takes less than the football, and we think it's all action football, and it's not. The play clock, the continuous play clock, just eats up the game. So 18 minutes is all you get in 3-hour broadcast, folks. So if you're wondering what you're watching, speed up the game. It says steals will go up. Pitchers won't throw as hard. A pitch is full effort. Hope right now pitchers as much time as they want to rest between their next. What has that got to do? Pitchers won't throw as hard because they're not going to be resting as long between pitches. Tom, is what it says.
All right.
Is that an issue you care about?
No. But I mean, you watch high school pitchers. All they try to throw is curveballs.
Do they? That's
Kevin.
Stupid.
Who was it
ridiculous.
this past week that they showed, and the guy struck the batter out in like 20 seconds?
I don't know the name. I saw. I know what you're talking about. But that's not the record. You know what the record is? 10.8 seconds.
10.8.
You know where it was? You know where it was? The Savannah Bananas.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen
I know
that
this guy the other day. They struck him out in like 20 seconds.
They have a rule: the guy can't wind up or something. They throw as soon as the pitcher gets it, he has to throw it, and he struck a guy out 3 straight strikes.
But then on the back side of that,
seconds.
If you're looking at that and people say, well, 20 seconds, yeah, look at the pitches. Swing the darn bat.
Tom, the curveball.
All of them was right there. Boom, boom,
No
boom.
swinging at all?
No. Just stood there looking at
All right, trivia question for Terry and Tom, because Zach's already seen this one. The most Major League Baseball seasons stealing at least one base without being caught. And it was the record. The number is 10. 10 straight seasons is the record of most Major League Baseball seasons stealing at least one base without being caught. Who was it? If you want a hint, I'll give you hints. I can give you up to 3.
You want to guess first, Tom?
You want hints.
I have no idea.
Ozzy.
Smith? No.
No.
Or Albies. Or Osborne. Which one was you guessing?
Smith.
Okay. Atlanta Brave. He played for the Atlanta Braves at one time in his career. Has played for other teams, but he was an Atlanta Brave. 10 straight seasons of stealing at least one base without being caught. No.
Deion Sanders.
Nope. Deion didn't play 10
Who was
years.
you going to say?
That's right.
I was thinking of the center fielder. But
Otis.
Yeah.
I said Otis.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Without being caught.
Yeah.
That's the key.
And Kenny Lofton. I said Kenny
Now,
Lofton
if you
too.
listen a little bit carefully.
See, they stole a lot of bases.
Listen to the exact words I'm using. Yep. Tom's starting to catch on a second. At least one base without being caught.
You steal 50, you might
giving
get
you
caught
some
twice.
hints.
Hey, I got a good hint. He's got a lot of gold gloves.
Yeah, guy does have some gold gloves too. Pretty
Andrew
good defender.
Jones?
Nope.
No, he played center field.
A lot of gold gloves.
Terry Pendleton.
The answer is, because we got to get a break, Greg Maddux.
Wow.
How about that?
Okay.
Greg Maddux is the Major League Baseball. I agree he should make the Hall of Fame now. He's better at that than he was pitching. Without stealing a base, 10 straight seasons, and he never got caught, Terry.
And here come the
police.
siren.
Yep.
That's right.
They're coming to catch that thief.
That's right.
All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. KTCBroadcast.com. Finish up with NASCAR on KTC.
They are there when you need them. We're talking about Shelby Heating and Air, where their customers come first. No matter the weather or the temperature, they'll be there to make sure you're comfortable. Ask about their safety furnace checkup for $99. Plus, ask about their up to $750 in rebates on select products. That's Shelby Heating and Air. Call 704-487-7877. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. They are there when you need them.
They've done it again. A big new shipment of refrigerators have been unloaded at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby. It's the biggest selection ever to choose from with final markdowns. Prices have been slashed to move. Bring that tax money in and go home with a new GE, Samsung, Whirlpool, or KitchenAid refrigerator. Plus, they all come with a full 1-year warranty. See Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center today. 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. On the right going down, on the left going up. Like them on Facebook too.
With CF Moto, you have the power to conquer more. From rocky creek beds to colossal mud pits to wooded mountainsides, CF Moto high-performance vehicles rip through the toughest terrain with ease. Outfitted with custom-designed liquid-cooled four-stroke engines and an unmatched assortment of standard features, the CF Moto ATVs and side-by-sides do more than crush trailheads. Whether you're looking for the ultimate adrenaline rush or a heavy-duty machine, you can take on anything with CF Moto. Available at Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Laurel.
For over 60 years, Boyd Tire and Appliance has been serving the Clover and surrounding area with the finest quality of home appliances, televisions, lawn equipment and parts, tires, and more. They feature in-house financing with 90 days same as cash, and they service what they sell. Drop by their showroom at 110 North Main Street in Clover, open 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday. Call 803-222-3231 for Boyd Tire and Appliance and Boyd Lawn and Garden. Online at BoydTireandAppliance.com. It's time to play at the Green Meadows Golf Course on Kelly Road in Mount Holly. Play and ride Monday through Friday for $25. Weekends just $30. Seniors ride and play Monday through Friday for $20. And every Wednesday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride for just $15. So make your tee time now by calling the Green Meadows Golf Course, 704-827-9264. Green Meadows Golf Course, 957 Kelly Road in Mount Holly.
Here's some good news from Pro Wellness Family Chiropractic in Lincoln. They are open, but not at their 644 Clark Drive location. As you probably know, it's being remodeled after storm damage. And for a short time, Pro Wellness Family Chiropractic is open right next door at 630 Clark Drive. Call and set up your appointment today at 704-735-9668. Visit them online at ProWellnessNC.com and like them on Facebook too. Again, Pro Wellness Family Chiropractic is open at 630 Clark Drive in Lincoln.
And we're back at Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin the Gang. We're in the last leg of the race, and considering they're talking about NASCAR, I guess that's pretty accurate. But as always, we want to remind our listeners about 704-487-7877 for Shelby Heating and Air.
That's right. You can check them out online too, ShelbyHeating.com. Once again, 704-487-7877, Shelby Heating and Air. Kevin.
All right, so for the folks online, our highlight going into this segment on the video is a kids wrestling match. And I say kids, they look younger than high school. And Terry, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if you guys do this over at West or not, but this move made by this kid is just outstanding. And the dedication that these guys put, Zach, Vince McMahon should be on the call. So that's all I'm going to say. Terry, you ready for this video?
I'm ready.
All right. So I don't even know how to describe it for the folks on the radio. I don't even know if I can. So the guy reaches down, gets all of his power, and boom! Have you seen Street Fighter? You remember Street Fighter, Zach?
Mm-hmm.
He Hadoukened him.
The heck?
That's one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
I knew it, Tom. Look at
the
this.
force is strong with this one.
He used the force to blow this wrestler off his, and the ref has no idea. The ref looks pissed.
He ain't even called.
The ref looks mad.
Get down.
What do these idiots just do?
That was pretty staged. Yep.
He's looking for him to count.
Apparently, they were both in the losers bracket and were friends and don't really care. They're just.
Oh, I bet their coach is just. Oh my gosh.
What do we probably walk over and say? Oh, guys, y'all cannot do that.
Oh my gosh, guys.
All right, I'll show you the other highlights here in a minute of like what I'll show you exactly what he was trying to do here in a second. But
you need to send me that video.
Pull up, that was actually off of Dragon Ball Z, Kevin, on that one. That was
well, that's what they said. Dragon Ball Z came out 25 years after Street Fighter.
Yeah, I know.
So let's stop that LeBron invented the layup here. Kyle Busch fan, Zach, got you a win this week, and then Chase Elliott blew his
king of racing
knee out.
King of racing, Tom.
Terry, how could you say that?
The king.
And not expect
it was a very good race last week. It was an enjoyable race. The whole, it was action packed.
And then at the end of it, when he's just pulling away by more and more and more. Same thing he did last night on the truck race.
I remember there's a race when I start getting the text message threads.
Tom, let me ask you something. If a guy ends up in the back and there's no drafting, There's no wrecking, and he ends up in the front. You think something's wrong with his car? Or might be cheating a little bit.
Might be cheating, but if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
This is something y'all doing over there, Terry.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
There's something going on.
Last night he was put to the back because of they didn't get all his lug nuts on. Next thing I know, he's at the back, and I'm talking about in, 3 or 4 laps?
Tom, those other 30
he's
guys
from the back all the way up to like 11th or 12th.
These other 30 guys who've been driving racing cars their whole life are so much more
not
terrible
the driver
than they are.
that Kyle is.
That this guy can get in any car.
He can.
The best equipment.
And go to the front.
Yeah, that is a little sketchy.
A lot of smoke coming out of there.
226 races. Did King ever win 200?
Yes.
He got 200, yeah, but he's like how many behind now?
Real races, Terry.
He might as well come back and try to race again.
Terry, do we have to keep bringing this up?
He has to come back and race again. He's getting further and further behind.
Terry, you're like the guy who talks about his elementary school girlfriends and counts that as the number of times he scored. I mean, this is just the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Well, you count everything, Tom.
4 touchdowns in one game.
That's it.
I mean, it's just insane that you want to count victories on the Pee Wee circuit.
Well, I'm like Zach.
It's ridiculous.
And as I said here,
you're not like Zach. Zach has common sense. You're crazy.
Zach's like me.
I mean, Zach will say something crazy every now and then, but not like you. I mean, you're crazy every
made
week.
A move to say, Kyle, we don't need you tearing up too many cards. We don't need you no more. And they sent him over to Joe Gibbs, and he made Joe Gibbs look like a genius when he got over there. And now all of a sudden, Joe Gibbs says, you know what? I'm going to put my grandson in this car. I just can't work out a deal with you, Kyle. I'm going to send you over to Richard Childress. Well, you know what, Joe Gibbs, you just lost a lot of money because Richard Childress is going to win a lot of money this coming year because Kyle Busch is motivated. He's willing to go out there. Here he is racing all 3 races again like he said he was not going to do anymore. So this guy's out here to win.
Tom, Terry thinks that this millionaire is going to be upset that his grandson is racing NASCAR.
Yeah, because Joe Gibbs really needs the money.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, he don't need the money.
Joe Gibbs has got to be 82 years
old. Care
old.
what Kyle Busch
What's
does.
he care about it right now?
He's got to be old.
He's got to be 81 or 82 years old. He's got to be. What's he care about making more money for? Who is he? Jerry Jones?
Good job. Let me pat my grandson
Tom, that's a good
on the
guess.
back.
He's exactly
he's
82 years
Don't get me wrong.
old.
I'm glad. I would do the same thing. I would leave a car for him.
I mean, he still looks pretty good.
But you got rid of the best driver you had.
1940.
Yeah. I mean, I knew.
Maybe I should have stood over there and got rid of Hamlin, or I should have stood over and got rid of Truex.
Or maybe even me, who doesn't follow racing like you guys do, knows that if you go to the big names and then they don't keep you for a long time, that tells me 2 things. You have talent, but you're a pain in the butt. And I think that's what Kyle Busch is. I mean, I think he's got talent, but after a while he just kind of rubs people the wrong way. Some of the stupid stuff he says and the stupid stuff he does wears on you and you go
up this ladder, Tom.
What ladder are you talking about? What ladder?
I mean, he's probably going to end up with more than Jeff Gordon.
No. Jeff Gordon has what, 85,
93.
93.
I think he's in the 70s. Is he in the 70s on the NASCAR circuit?
He's not going to catch Darrell
61. He's 32.
Darrell Waltrip has
32.
Darrell Waltrip won 84 races, and I don't think Darrell Waltrip won a race the last 10 years he was racing. You're gonna catch Darrell Waltrip? No, you're not.
Darrell who?
You're not. Who has more NASCAR victories, Darrell Waltrip or Kyle Busch? Anyone? It's Darrell Waltrip. Okay.
Yeah, but he raced until he is like.
So
87.
you're not even as good as Darrell Waltrip, and you're talking about this guy's the king of NASCAR. Get out of here, man.
He is the king.
Kyle is
of racing. He is the king of racing.
He is the king of being a jerk since Dale Earnhardt's no longer with us. That's what he's.
So he's 25 wins behind. 15 wins behind the next person in line, which is Dale Earnhardt Sr. Kevin Harvick is 10th, which I didn't know that. Kyle Busch is 9th. Dale Earnhardt 8th. Yarborough 7th. Jimmy Johnson 6th. Bobby Allison 5th. Darrell Waltrip 4th. Jeff Gordon 3rd. Pearson 2nd. And Richard Petty.
That's crazy. That how many wins did Dale Earnhardt have?
76.
That's what I'm talking about. If he catches him,
it just seems like he'd be higher on the list.
He's a genius if he catches him.
I would agree with you, Tom, on that.
That I would have never guessed that.
What?
That he would have had more wins.
Like a Darrell Waltrip had more wins than Dale Earnhardt. You know what I mean? That's one of those things that you just wouldn't put together. But I think everybody forgets how good he was back in the early '80s. He was really.
You talking
good.
about Darrell Waltrip?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Dale Earnhardt would have kept on racing for I don't know how many more years.
That's fair.
Now he was.
Well, he was 49.
49 or 50
he was 49.
When the accident happened. Yeah, he was up there.
He would have raced for another 4 or 5 years.
He
probably would have. Him.
Yeah.
He would have definitely ended up with I think, in the 80s somewhere.
Yeah.
Definitely 80s or 90s somewhere.
And people say that he couldn't. Well, I mean, you know what? When he was third, he could have won, but he was protecting the two guys in front of him.
Yeah. Well,
Rusty Wallace is 11th, Lee Petty 12th, Ned Jarrett 13th, Junior Johnson 14th, and Tony Stewart 15th. I'm not a fan of Tony Stewart, Terry, at all. And
Tony Stewart should be in jail.
And they got him. He's up there commentating every week.
Him being on these broadcasts,
and he's an owner too.
He should be in jail.
I don't. Not a fan. Not a fan of any of that whatsoever. Tony fans will defend him till whatever. But
they will.
They I hate to break their hearts. Whether or not they think he did it on purpose, he killed a man on the track.
Yeah.
True.
True.
Okay. That's whether or not they think they did it on purpose. He ran over a dude standing on the track. That is a fact, and they can't deny that one.
But now the bottom line is they're going to sit there and say, well, this guy's not supposed to
And he was
get
mad
out
at
of
the
his
guy
car.
when it happened, right? He was mad at the guy when it happened.
Yes.
So you know that it was intentional. I mean,
that's our opinion.
It's murder, dude.
That's what people
murder.
think.
Yeah.
All right, so this week they're in Vegas. I'll pull up the NASCAR Vegas stuff real quick. Chase Elliott, of course, out. Doesn't say how long he has surgery. Don't say exactly on what. I guess NASCAR isn't one of those sports where you have to report your injuries, exactly what's out or what's going on. I'm not seeing anything like that. So I'm that's what I was wondering about. Why there's kind of hush around it.
Rumors saying he might be back next week.
Then what is he having surgery on?
I don't know. That's what I thought. It's odd.
What's a 5-day injury that you're having surgery on that you can come back and
I thought it was very odd.
Because if you break or
finger or something maybe where you could.
It's just leg injury is what it says.
Okay, I didn't see that
leg
part.
injury. So if you tear an ACL, that's not like a come back in 5 days after surgery type thing, or an ankle. Like what could that? Did he cut himself and he had like 18 stitches on something? Like, you know what I mean? That's a weird. Well, what injury would be that? I don't know. Pennzoil 400. 3:30 Sunday will be here on KTC Broadcast and WCSL. Let's see. Where is? When's the? Terry, you know when the
qualifying is?
Oh, that is. Here it is. Here it is. So Saturday, today's schedule, qualifying NASCAR Cup Series is at 2:20 today on FS1. Driver introductions for the Xfinity Series begin at 4. The race begins at 4:30 here at WCSL 92.9 FM. Tomorrow, race 3:30 p.m. Driver introductions begin at 3 in Las Vegas. Who's the favorite? Did you say
Kyle?
I know
Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch.
Favorites in these.
Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch both are the favorites.
Larson's going to race the Indy 500. Terry, you think he's got a chance to win that?
No. It's simple.
I'm going to agree with you on this.
I think he can race with them, but I don't think he can win it.
I think he can race about anything, but you know what does he normally race? He normally races things that slide. Now, the Indy cars don't slide.
No.
So that was Jimmy's major adjustment trying to explain to people is that these cars aren't loose. They're tight. He said you have to turn them harder than you think you have. Indy being the oval or whatever, I don't know. Is Jimmy announced he's going to race it this year or not?
No, not that I know of.
He hadn't announced any of the other races, right? Either. So we think. I'm about 90% positive I can say he's going to race North Wilkesboro.
If somebody would ask him, I guarantee he would go do it.
The Indy 500?
Yeah.
I mean, he did well in it. It's not like he did bad. I think I'm 90% sure he's racing North Wilkesboro. Any other guesses where he might go, Terry? You think he'll go Talladega?
I think he would go Talladega. I think he will go back to the Daytona, which is not July
Probably
4th
Darlington.
anymore.
What about Martinsville and Dover where he dominated?
Could be, yeah, especially Martinsville.
That's why he's got like 10 clocks and 5 or 6 monsters or something like that, don't he? So I'm just trying to figure out where he's going to hit these spots. The 1.5 miles, I don't think they'll show up at all. There's no reason to. Their program, the Petty program's never been good at 1.5 miles. Yeah. And so that's one of those things you got to be good at. Like Harvick and them, that's their bread and butter is that, and so that's the thing that you got to have. I don't know. All right, any favorites besides this weekend besides Kyle Busch? Any?
Well, there's no other driver. Ask Tom.
Sorry for asking. Anyway, that was the.
There's your answer. I told you.
All right, real quick, let's get out of here. This is what the kids were trying to do. This is the Street Fighter version. Of course, they were probably doing what Zach was saying, the Dragon Ball Z version. But this is the original version. Is Ryu's? It's called Ryuken move. It's power move. So this is what the kids were trying to do. We'll shoot this thing. This is the evolution of his Hadouken. So this is all the Street Fighter. So you basically shooting energy. That's what the kids were doing. See how they fall backwards.
Fantastic.
Late 80s, early 90s games.
I just want the guy to go down and do the taps.
Real quick, I did have one more video. Where was it? Tom, this is for you. In Italy, you're Italian, right?
Last time I checked, I'm half Italian.
You ever been to Trento, Italy?
I've never been to any other foreign country besides Canada, which is really United States light.
All right,
went to California last week.
In Trento, Italy, they have a tradition. They have a tradition every year. The politician who makes the biggest mistake in the year gets dumped in the river for a few seconds. You like this tradition? Should we bring this to America?
We'd have to drown.
Is this a good? Is this a good?
I don't think we'd have anything of the government left.
Look at them all. They're all on the bridge watching. They're going to dump him in the river.
We need to start doing that to umpires, right?
I saw this and I was like, I know this has nothing to do with sports, but Tommy's going to like this. This is a good one to show in history.
Yeah, bless his heart.
All right, we'll see you guys next Saturday, KTC Broadcasting.
I am the incredible man. I only do things incredible can. Cause I am the seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me.